Wait, we had a Yasuo Alistair locked in. Are we back live?
We should be.
I'll refresh the thing and see if we are. Yeah, looks like we are back live.
Brilliant. I am so sorry, guys.
So,
OBS did crash on us.
Alistair is good. Alistair just will struggle a little bit into Morgana. Early game, you do have to worry a little bit about that. Also, Ashe is pretty good into Alistair. It's a strange pick.
Yes. Yes, so we did
But
see the Rise was picked almost straight away. Right, I was going to fix the teams. Right, here we go.
against Bryce and Ashe? No, not against Bryce and Ashe. That was my point. Alistair's a good pick, but here it's not so good of a pick. Yeah, you really need to get level 6 on Alistair before you can do anything here. And even then, you're gonna struggle. You might get the amazing 5-man knockup for your Yasuo though.
Okay. Wait, oh,
I'd be interested to see who is playing the Yasuo this game. Maybe they're having a swap back and Confirmed is going mid with the Yasuo and Horns is going back support.
maybe, because we know that Confirmed, obviously, they're normal mid laner, and he does like Yasuo. He's got a 65% win rate this season on that Yasuo. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see that swap back. But maybe we see the Yasuo bot lane. I would not be a fan of playing... Actually, no, I just hate playing into both Ryze and Yasuo. I don't think that's a matchup problem. I think that's just a me problem.
We see Volley, Maokai banned on the side of Hit or Miss, and we see Nocturne, Olaf banned on the side of Art of Chase. So Art of Chase obviously trying to ban out some of the junglers.
There was 3 junglers banned on the side of Hit or Miss with the Moo as well.
Yes. Sorry, that was from chat. I forgot they were still there.
What an
That was an Yes, okay, so we did see that Olaf get banned and the Shen get banned onto the side of Hit or Miss from the last game. The Rise did make it through. I'm surprised. I think we're all surprised that the Rise made it through the ban.
What? We see Jarvan. We see Jarvan picked up on the side of Helmis, and it's countered with Vi.
Vi is at the moment.
Oh, yep. Last I heard, Cass was learning Vi, so we'll see how that goes. This might be a support set being picked up.
Oh, we do have a
DC.
Question mark. You know how I said that you don't have to see our faces anymore? Well, I'm afraid they are back.
Oh no.
Hello.
Not again.
Oh, the jungler. Okay, jungler for.
Jungler crashed. So
yeah,
we will have
crashed.
to do same pick bans. Speed through it up until that last. Was the set locked in? I don't think the set was locked in.
The set was not
yet.
locked in.
The set's not locked in there. So yeah, we're just gonna get jungler back for Hit or Miss, and we'll go back through the load screen. Load screen? Champ select
Looks like I was
again.
on Moscow 5.
Draft pick.
I'll take
Drafting, thank you. So currently on the desk, apparently we have the voice actor of Camille, Bjergsen, but younger, and apparently Jimmy Neutron.
Apparently I'm Bjergsen, but younger and on Moscow 5.
So my team is actually just going all out. They've screenshotted it on our Discord saying face reveal.
Oh, nice.
So they're going out on me.
Today is not the day to be on live camera, apparently.
Apparently not.
Perfect, just what you want to see.
Okay, I feel like I don't know where to start on this pause here, because
How do we think the draft is going so far? Do you think one team has a clear advantage if we can remember what they've actually drafted?
so what we had for Art of Chase, we had the Alistair, the Yasuo,
Kaiser.
and the Kaiser. That was their 3 picks.
And there was a 4th pick, which was Vi.
Vi.
They had also locked in the Vi.
And for Hit or Miss, we did have the Rise. We had. I really focused on that Rise. Good.
We had Rise. We had Kate Morgana because oof.
I thought it was Ashe Morgana.
Oh, Ash Morgana. Yes. Okay. Slightly
They
more fun
had-
bot lane. Kate Morgana is horrible.
Yeah, they had an Ashe Morgana in the bot lane because they had a Rise, and then the other team had a Kaiser, Alistair, Yasuo, Jarvan on hit or miss side as well. They stole the Jarvan off the Casa.
But yeah, how do we feel about these drafts?
Oh, we can't. There's actually something quite interesting going on in the chat right now. Apparently, the jungler for hit or miss does not actually own Jarvan, so we yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Do you know what?
Goes out.
I don't. Okay, it looks like they're allowing them to change that Jarvan pick. Thankfully, because honestly, I wasn't sure what
They
to do with that
can't.
one.
They've just said can't.
Oh,
Oh,
I can't. That was a typo. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Build Water Jace, you heard it here first.
log on to
New
another
skin.
account there.
Okay. Yeah, sorry for this delay. We are getting apparently an account swap to an account that owns Jarvan.
Interesting. So maybe we'll get to see the main account.
Oh, oh no, because Buffalo Goose 2 was our question mark. It was Vivi. No, it's not Vivi. Who are we missing?
We're missing the sub jungler, Glory GB, who has been playing always on a level 25 account.
Nope, level 32. Repentsy.
We have 2 staff members. Oh, nice. Perfect. Oh, they want you to start doing Camille quotes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to change the stream title to Camille quotes Bjergsen and Bilgewater Jace. So what was your quote? You have become an obstacle to progress. Oh, well, we screwed up. You've become an obstacle to progress. Time to remove you. That's very edgy. But we're back into Champ Select, so goodbye. Thanks. You can still
Goodbye
hear us.
again. Right. Okay.
Right. Speeding through the Champ Select. Same band's coming out. What a start to what a start to this split we've had. It's been an
Yeah,
absolute
what a start.
I haven't even started my split, so let's just say that.
Technically, you have.
Oh.
You got 2 free wins. Actually, that's the point.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
who's wondering,
Starting
the
the
reason
split.
why if you're in the Discord, that is, the reason why we didn't have Slightly Boss Synergy versus Stealth Devastators as our first game was because Stealth Devastators did forfeit the game. So SA's got the free win, which is why we have a different game to start us off. Also, ayaya. Do you know what? For next time, I think
I was about to
I'm
point
gonna
that out to you.
remove the redeems because it feels so jarring.
Just make like a soundboard of you doing all the
I probably should, yeah.
redeems.
Right.
That would work so well.
So we do see same picks carried out. A nice quick Champ Select, thank God.
I think they're just locking in their own picks at this point, rather than swapping them all. Which works out.
Okay.
I think they're doing it in the same order as before.
Yep. So we have. This was where the Jarvan was going to get picked, wasn't it? So this is going to be our first actual
No.
new
This
pick.
they had
This
Ash,
was the
Ash
Ash.
here.
Okay, they're just
Ash
picking
was picked
slow.
here.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to remember the bands, which they did. So then next it was a Volibear ban.
I'm glad you guys remember because I don't. This is
And
why
then
I
it
put you
was,
guys here.
I think it was the Nocturne ban and then another jungle ban.
There was an
For-
Olaf ban for AOC.
AOC, and it was, I think it was...
Maokai, yeah, that was it. Do you know we
And
played
then
Generation?
Hit or Miss then picked up the J4, and then it was... And then it... Set and... One more, I've forgotten the last one. Well, Set was Jaeger's picking it.
Set was being flashed but hadn't been locked in yet, so we'll see if they actually do lock that in. Yeah,
Five.
Valkyrie 5 Generation of Prodigies, we have the VODs for, so that will be casted on VODs, and we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
I've got to work out how you get rid of that little thing above the above the scoreboard, which says what's about to happen.
Oh, you. Press you.
Oh yeah, you. That's it.
Right, so new picks. We have the Jarvan locked in, and then we move over to Set. And Vi's our last lock-ins for AOC.
Set is locked in. Something I do notice is there's not a lot of AP damage. Ooh, Fiora.
And the Fiora. Locked in.
So it's going to be the
for
set top lane.
Buffalo Goose. Yes, set top lane, that's locked in for Jaeger.
It seems like Horns and Confirmed has swapped because they haven't changed. Unless Yasuo is going to be the support and Alistar's going to be mid lane. I don't think they're going to be swapping.
Yeah,
lanes.
no. So originally on Out of Chase, it is Horns and Nasty Fox spot lane and Confirmed in the mid lane.
Yeah.
They swapped for game 1, but yeah, I think this is a swap back. Yasuo is one of Confirmed's more comfortable champions to play. Horns, I didn't have down as a huge Alistar player, but
I mean, it provides the knockups.
Yep.
I think
You've got a lot of
also-
things.
Horns' support style is very much more tanky frontline champions, such as like the Shen, Galio, Tarek as the support pick. Playing Alistar isn't going to be much different than playing Galio or playing Shen.
True. So,
And it does give you the ultimate to get out of the Morgana route, or just tank up the Morgana route and walk away. I'm surprised the Rise was left up. We didn't really go into that, but obviously they don't think the Rise was particularly a problem.
maybe
so
they
yeah,
didn't
so
look at the
can
damage
block
graph after last game.
Maybe.
Okay, so let's talk about these teams as a whole. As my voice dies mid-sentence.
Let's point out there is almost no front line on the side of hit or miss. You have Jarvan, who I'm going to assume at this point is going to build tank, and he's going to ult the front line, then press a stone plate and hope he doesn't die.
Yeah, I wouldn't
On
be
the
surprised
side-
to see the Cinder Hulk Jarvan with the rest of that comp there.
It's going to be very hard to hold the front line when you have Asda who can do his headbutt knockup with a set ultimate as well, and Vi locking down on one of the back line. It's going to be very hard for Jarvan to lock down the front line of the AOC.
This is a hard split push comp that has been drafted from hit or miss. You put your Fiora and Rise on the side lane, you put Jarvan, Morgana, Ashe in the mid lane. They're fairly safe with the amount of disengage they have. And you wait for your Rise Fiora to just win the game from the sides.
So based on champ select, and I guess a little bit of last game as well, who do you give this game to? Who do you think's got the upper hand as we wait for our spectators?
It all
to win?
For me, it all depends on how the early in the jungle is going to go. Because Vi can either go two ways. Vi could either get so ahead, do a lot of damage against the caster in the jungle, and help get AOC ahead in the game, or can be almost a minion on the team. If she's put back so far ahead, or if she's put back even maybe 5 minutes behind her actual normal build, she can basically be a user's champion.
Yeah,
Yep,
she does feel very single swim.
Also, it's pretty much a guaranteed stun for Fiora. Very bad at ganking Fiora Vias.
Do you think that's why the Fiora was locked in? Because the Fiora was our last pick, and
I don't think so. I think Buffalo Goose feels he can win the 1v1, and that's why he's locked in the Fiora.
wants to get redemption for last game.
Yeah,
You
if he
can see
starts
him
to
pick up
lose
the
against
solo
the
kills.
set, they are in a lot of trouble here.
Okay. Yeah, I think AOC do have the losing side, but chat disagrees. Reckons actually Set has the winning side of this matchup into the Fiora. Granted, he played it well. When it comes to jungle, we talked about how Castle was very single swim on that Vi, and I'm going to stop calling him Repents because much easier than remembering the old summoner names. Does have an easier time pulling the J4 off into AOC's draft. Looking at the mid lanes, it's hard to say because I can't really judge off of last game because of course we had different mid lane up for AOC.
I would say no, because almost every champion has a way to actually get out of Jarvan's ultimate. The one you could argue doesn't would be Set, because he has to ult someone to get out of Jarvan's ultimate.
Kai'Sa has to ult too.
Morgana has to flash.
Yeah, but Kai'Sa just has to hit Jarvan and she can ult out from there. Set would have to specifically ult. Well, Kai'Sa has to hit anyone. Doesn't matter what range, and she can ult out. Set has to specifically ult someone who's in the Jarvan ultimate. So if he ults Set and flashes out, Set stuck. But yeah, the point is basically every champion can get out.
But if timed right, Set can actually cancel the Cataclysm coming down from the Jarvan.
Yeah, I think it's the same interaction as the volley barrel, isn't it? Where they can, they'll just sort of switcheroo.
Each champion has unstoppable, so yep, they'll just fly past each other, wave a little hello,
It'd be nice to see.
and keep going.
Let's make sure everyone's on the right side. We do actually have hit or miss on this side, and auto chase on this side. And for some reason, the one is backwards. Don't you love it? Okay. Do you expect to see any invades coming out from these teams as we start this draft? And I apparently cannot move this number 1, so it's going to say that.
No, I mean, you might see a cheeky invade coming out from the side of hit or miss, but you shouldn't really be seeing an invade coming out from either team.
Not on either team, no.
No, it does look like both of them are just going to start with a fairly traditional fan.
Something worth noting is there is a lot of AD on the side of Art of Chase, but there isn't a big tank for hit or miss, so
Do you see
who
actually
knows?
Repents? And Hassad having a small little fisty fight here. 2 level 1s.
Yes.
Starting the Q on Vi is very interesting.
Yep, not sure I would have taken Q first. Even in the 1v1, E or even W I think would be better for that
Yeah,
1v1.
so I think usually you start with the W on that Vi.
You start on the W on the Vi. Yeah, you do
but
start on the W on the Vi.
It does mean that you don't get that passive proc. So I think maybe that was taken as a way to quickly get passive and get a little bit of shield into Repents.
Even E there would be better for that passive block.
Yeah.
So both well, Art of Chase are going to know that it's a red side start for the Jarvan. Will this matter? It could.
I think it really depends. It allows Nasty Fox and Horns the knowledge to know, okay, we can't be super aggressive early because we could get 2 buffs from Repents and then straight into the bot lane. Of course, whilst Nasty Fox is not level 6, he cannot really get away from Repents on that Jarvan without flash. Of course, if that Flag and Drag does hit. On the other side... Oh, sorry.
It's alright. I was just going to say, it's interesting on the Vi because I was just watching the Vi do the blue into the Gromp. Going QE on Vi, she's not actually getting the W passive prop every 3rd auto to get that passive to be reduced on the cooldown. So she's got to be waiting 15 seconds per shield because she hasn't got that W yet.
Yeah.
W's also very good at single target damage, so it's kind of strange not taking it when you're going onto the Gromp. Nice sidestep from Horns
But
there.
yeah, speaking of, Repent's doing exactly as we expected, coming in after this blue buff into this bot lane. Flash going from Vivi to stack those slows on, and the flash flag and drag the wrong way round, but it doesn't matter as Vivi does pump out enough damage on Nasty Fox to finish him off. Horns will be getting hit by that bind, and the ignite with those last 2 auto attacks from Vivica will pick up that second kill.
That's very bad. Oh,
But Cass now going for that flash Q, not connecting to Buffalo Goose 2. Will flash over the wall with the red buff. Not enough to finish him, but the ignite is confirmed will be.
So Casa there attempting to predict the Rise flash. Rise doesn't flash, and it just kind of looks strange.
It does.
You didn't even have to predict flash there because that was almost an instant flash Q.
But I think we don't as Casa. Oh, we'll get hit by the binding. But yeah, okay. So we talked about how AOC knew that Repents was starting topside. They had a blue on his ward. They had a ward on his blue.
The bot lane still confirmed in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, confirmed. We'll be getting caught by that binding from Buffalo Goose number 2. Using that wind wall, trying to stall time for Casa to get there. But we'll be taking that tower shot.
Gets a tower shot.
Which means Casa really cannot help him out there.
Bit too sad to watch.
We're having more than the kill a minute here.
To be honest, Confirm should have just walked down the lane. He knew that the Jarvan flashed in the bot lane, and knew that the Rise flashed in the mid lane. So, why is he trying to go in towards the turret?
Yeah, so he was stalling time there to get Casa to come in, but he just couldn't survive long enough. You do actually see Repents is here. Buffalo Goose only on about 150 health, so he's going to be here just to get Buffalo Goose a little bit of pressure just so he can
But that is an early game set.
Is actually managing to trade it back. But it did give Buffalo just a few extra seconds just to survive. First dragon is going to be a cloud, so we won't be seeing another cloud soul. Thank God, it feels like a curse every time we cast or play a game. It's just cloud soul.
Wait,
Something
yeah,
nice,
our cloud soul
refreshing
percentage
change.
is something like 60% of souls we get are cloud. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, be nice, refreshing change. Do you see
Are we
either team having the pressure? Let's say, do you see AOC having the pressure to really do this dragon? Considering
Yeah,
that,
AOC can definitely just go for the sneak of the dragon. Vi can solo it by herself. There's no issue with that, and she can queue over the wall to get out fairly safely. It's not too hard, especially when you've got a control ward in there. You wouldn't expect Jarvan to just walk up and randomly check it anyway.
although
Jarvan is also a champion that can also sell a dragon early. So it will be a fight at that dragon pit, either at the end of the dragon or in the middle.
yeah, I don't think AOC want to fight this. I mean, just look at bot lane alone. Nasty Fox sitting on that D-Blade compared to Vivi sitting on that D-Blade pickaxe. That's already huge. But yes. Actually, I mean, as we were talking about it, Kassa is going for that sneaky dragon. The Hawkshot will scout it out. But
Like I
it's
said,
too late.
Vi can take dragons very quickly with that W passive, and the E to help stack the W more. I'm not too surprised they tried for the sneak, especially when they already have the control ward on there. If the hawk shot comes on, you can just pull out.
You see it. Small
Nice
coming in this
knockoff
bot
from
lane.
Horns,
Nice knockout, but yeah. It's going to fizzle out into nothing.
Now this has got to be very careful on the side of Art and Chase at the moment, because you can see that the Jarvan's actually in their bot side jungle and there's no vision behind the bot lane. So Nasty and Horns is actually in a very good position to get ganked from behind with no realization that they're going to get ganked.
Yep, if we
Like
do actually
Jarvan.
pan the vision, he's completely out of vision there as he walks just above Red Buff. He's sitting there, actually just not moving at all. I'm not sure quite what he's waiting for.
He's waiting for
Cass
Confirmed
is-
to push up, because Confirmed has been pushing up a lot. Or maybe just waiting for Skull to spawn. Something to know about the top side is Jaeger is continually pushing this wave into the Fiora, which means she is able to get the CS. She's actually ahead of him in CS right now, by just a few. That's overall a loss for you.
Yep, actually
Oh,
popping both ultimates coming
twice as
out.
well.
Buffalo's coming out super low, less than 100 health. Jaeger not having any damage over time to finish off the Fiora there. Honestly, I feel like Jaeger is... I mean, there's been talk about this a little bit in chat, in the fact that Jaeger does have this advantage, and does have this constant pressure in lane, and instead of trying to deny Buffalo Goose in that Fiora, he's just shoving it into her and then, you know, letting her have it.
Here's an Ash ult for Confirmed. He
Yeah, Uncharted
watches
Crystal Arrow
it
not gonna
sail
connect.
past.
And Confirmed will be allowed to just walk away there. Okay, so approaching the 10-minute mark. AOC having a surprisingly a better game this game, considering how much has happened when we look at the difference in gold. Only down about 1.2k, 1.3k in comparison to, I think it was 2.5k last game when we were sort of looking at this point.
Yep, and you can see that the difference in gold is mainly made up on the side of hit or miss. The Ash is about 600 ahead, but your Yasuo is about 300 ahead on the side of Art of Chase.
Yeah, actually both bot lane is about 600 gold ahead of their respective counterpart. We see actually Kassa and Buffalo Goose having a little skirmish here. Ultimate coming out will land Buffalo Goose, but the Cataclysm will catch Kassa no doubt. Has no way to escape this, and it will be finished off by Buffalo Goose and Repents. Jaeger following this up, but Buffalo Goose 2 is there with that ultimate to through him. And Holm still flashes force. Flag Drag will land on that knockup and will be
But he doesn't
falling.
get the W off. All he had to do there was press W.
You can see it, the fist was channeling back, but he just didn't quite get it off quick enough.
You needed to predict the Jarvan knockup,
Yeah.
which was obviously going to come in.
Needed a little bit of time.
So actually looking at the build at the moment, you can see the Vi is actually going for a tanked Vi, which is very surprising when you're going with a set top lane and a Alistar support. You probably want to go for the warrior enchant, but is going Cinderhold.
Yeah, we actually see
It's
us
strange, but
actually stealing that Roach Herald there. We'll be picking it up. And they're sitting in this 1v1. Yeah,
Confirmed.
potential flag and drag.
looking
over
for the
that
solo kill onto Buffalo
Yeah,
Goose.
the flash.
Flashes forwards for the guaranteed kill. Not going to risk throwing that tornado and missing.
does actually, I think, even up. Like, actually, it goes 600 gold ahead with that kill.
That's a bounty as well.
Yeah, that'd be. I was thinking it was just going to even that out. But how big was the bounty, do you know?
150.
150.
So only a small injection of gold, but means your
gold, yeah.
Yasuo's even further ahead than Rise.
Picking up that shutdown, the kill, and now some platings as well does put him almost 1,000 gold ahead.
That's Dark Seal stacks gone.
Yeah, the Dark Seal stacks gone is also enough for the Yasuo to go and get his Phantom soon.
You see your Pence actually getting rid of the able hit. Is going to take a tower shot, but just the power of set is perfectly safe. More platings falling in this mid lane. Confirmed we'll be closing off that. Now 1,100 gold lead over Buffalo Goose 2. We were talking about how we thought the Rise needed a ban, but maybe AOC just knew better than us this time. They were, you confirmed, was happy to play into this Rise on that Yasuo. And it's working out for him.
Very well. Looks like they're looking for this Drake.
Yep, next
spawning.
Drake is going to be an Infernal.
Pings go down by both teams. AOC have some good vision around the entrances, apart from top side river.
Yep, so they're just missing a little bit of vision around the top side. In comparison to Halo Mist, actually not really having much vision in this bottom side river at all. Shogun will be walking up, but Horns will be using that blast cone to pop in behind him. Lots of damage
And
coming
Jaeger
out.
TP's down.
But that striking going over. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow to slow Jaeger bomb down, but now Vivi is in a interesting spot as will be pummeled by
Vile's pulled out. Vivi's
Finished.
pulled back,
Oh.
and that's just a kill onto the set. Fiora gets a hell of a lot here, though.
Yeah, if we pan quickly to
Free
Fiora,
time on a tower.
we'll actually probably get this
Yeah.
first tower gold here. As I don't see mid tower falling, still got 3 plates on it, 4 left on that bot lane as well. Who's taking down that first plate in gold. And actually has a 1,600 gold lead, nearly 1,700 over Jägerbomb's set.
Yep. So this is the point where, at best, you're gonna start just holding Fiora.
Yes.
You can still punish her right now, but
How are we going to get a
There's an
second tower
interesting build pick item on the Yasuo, because normally Yasuo's would go into the PD or the Berserker's Greaves first. This one has started to go Merc Treads, which is fair enough when you're going against Rise, but when you haven't got your passive attack speed bonus from Berserkers, it's going to put the Yasuo quite behind on huge early damage.
Yeah,
I think this is mainly you've got
Morgana
Rise,
and Rise,
Ashe, and Morgana.
Ashe, yeah.
Because he decided to take that Ignite. Maybe he's hoping it means he doesn't have to go for the early QSS. I would still expect a QSS at
an
some
early
point.
QSS is pretty good, because then you've only got to really deal with the Rise. Whereas Windwall...
Hourglass? Coming out from for sure.
No, that was the stopwatch.
The stopwatch.
Yep.
Probably a misclick. But
I assume trying to put down a ward.
The Windwall itself will stop the Ashe ult and also the Morgana Q.
Yep.
We do see
It is an interesting choice
confirmed will be spotted there.
to make, but
But it does
evaluating the slight extra tankiness.
4 members of AOC hovering around this bot side, but looking for Vivi and for Show, and possibly this tower, but it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere too crazy. So we're sort of approaching the 15-minute mark now. Hit or Miss have actually extended that gold lead a little bit. They're about 2k ahead now. Maybe this bot lane tower dive can help it. It is a 3v3. Do you see Repents just buys move up on the side there? Knock up
There's the
landing
engage.
onto Vivi, and will be taken out with flash into the flag drag coming from Repents into the
Nasty
Cataclysm, but the flash from Casanova will get him out from there. Nasty Fox will take that tower shot, but it's fine.
Oh!
The red buff from Repents will be finishing off Casa.
But I did have the smite to get the health off that Gromp.
That was the Gromp being aggroed by the Palmy Cinder.
No, oh that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Confirm's actually there, looking for this fight into Repents, but with Black Shield, deciding that that is enough.
So let's talk about itemization on the set here. You're going into a Fiora who's rushed to Ravenous first. I would expect to see some sort of anti-heal being picked up. Silver's tower diving is funny. This is.
Yeah,
in
this
fact.
is silver and gold, I think. I think it's a bit of a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vivi actually getting a lot of damage out onto Nasty Fox there. Will not be able to carry on pushing. It's on his own actually. Horns going for that flash engage, but Vivi will match that flash straight away. Stepping up without any support is what happens.
Yeah, so I would have expected Set to pick up either the Executioners or more likely the Bramble Vest to help against the Fiora. You can't be sure that you're going to get the Grievous Wounds with an Executioners, because you'd have to hit her first to stop the healing. But you can with the Bramble Vest. Because as soon as she hits
Kaiser
you,
has done quite well in CS at the moment, though. Where being, what, 500, 600 gold behind the Ashe, to now only being 150, 200?
Yep, that almost 20 CS lead, giving her a little bit of extra gold back. Actually, the thing that itemized I do want to look at is Buffalo Goose on that rise. We're 15 minutes in, hasn't even got the Catalyst yet, let alone the rower. Was forced to buy that Seeker's Arm Guard early. Slowing down that Rod of Ages, slowing down the stats
I would expect not to see a rower from Rise anymore with how far into the game we are.
The Rod would be a bit of a late pick at this point. I think it's more safe to go with, especially against their team, going with something more tanky, like the Seeker's Arm Guard going into the Zhonya's, or even going...
You need the power soon on the side of hit or miss, because you're getting incredibly close to losing soul here, and it's a mountain soul.
Yeah, two dragons up already. See, actually, I think that just knock up onto Repentance just to slow him down as
Horns just being an annoying Alistar, just chasing the Jarvan around.
Already down. Windwall actually the knock up. Steal. Coming Yasuo getting that ultimate,
knock up misses.
No steal coming in from Repentance. In this top side, we do see confirmed going down, and Horns is just getting this up, trying to slow him down for Jaeger, but will be finished off by Buffalo Goose in this top side.
And they join after the rest of their team is dead.
But AOC just falling one by one.
Yeah, that fight was extremely messy. Two of them fighting Jarvan in the pit, and then choose to go back in after their teammates are already dead.
It was hard to know where to look and which fight to pick to talk about. But yeah, that'd be
the Yasuo did use his ultimate a bit too early, especially when the enemy jungler still had Black Shield. If he waited an extra second for his tornado to be thrown out, he would get the 3-man knock-up to possibly get the dragon for his team.
And with that knock-up into his ultimate, that might have held Repentance for long enough that Cassidy could secure that dragon and put them on soul point. But no,
this
that
is a lot of time.
Their gold lead.
That's a lot of time bought the side of hit or miss. I'd expect this to be given over to Fiora.
No, Repent's actually going to pick this up instead.
The difference here with not giving it to the Fiora is it means that Fiora doesn't have the massive threat while split pushing, where if you don't match her, or if she gets that solo kill, she can drop the Herald and pretty much your inhib tower's just gone. Like, she can very quickly slam through that first tower and then the inhib tower as well before you can get there.
Yeah, and it's
having
hard for Archers to match her. She's finished that Ravenous Hydra. Looks like she's going for that Triforce second. She's sitting on... She's almost 2,000 gold ahead of Jaeger.
Where's the sweeper on Ali and Vi? Yep, we see that there have been no upgrades on vision items.
I think it changes. Interesting. And if we actually have a look at the vision... Actually, Duskman's going in with that ultimate. The Internal Crystal Arrow will match it. Vivi will be allowed to walk away there. Repentance is on the side here. Looks like they're going to be looking to punish Nasty Fox and Horns. Nasty Fox still having the flash, not having the exhaust though, flashing away from that Cataclysm. The knockup will be landing onto Repentance, but Horns is just left alone. And this ult is not enough to keep him alive. Also, meanwhile, we do see his Wolves skirmish in the top lane. Jaeger and Buffalo just stopping each other coming in almost.
So with those last few fights, Rise did get enough to just straight up buy his rower. So he's done so now.
19 minutes in, but actually Flash Root coming out from the Rise, and that will be Nasty Fox being very, very dead, not respecting flash cooldowns, but confirmed in the bot lane. Actually looking like he's gonna not finish off that 1v1 for show winning.
Oh,
against the
so
in a 1v1.
Confirmed was fine there with just hitting the tower. It was that he waited so long for the Morgana ult that by the time he turned around and decided to hit Morgana, he couldn't actually get out of the tower after it started hitting him.
Yep, and that is Herald dropping, doing a lot of damage to that in-him tower. And the Flagons are actually going to knock down. The Horns won't be able to go anywhere with those resets.
What is
The
this
coming
fight?
out from Jägerbomb, throwing Repents into the rest of his team. But it's not enough, as Repents is still looking pretty healthy. Do you see Buffalo Goose falling to the damage of of Jaeger?
Oof. He almost gets it.
He's looking pretty low, but Nasty Fox has no ultimate after that last attempted pick onto Vivi.
They actually... That somehow works for them.
That was very close for the Vi, in the fact that she autoed the wrong person, which meant that the W passive didn't go onto the Ash, it went onto the Rise instead.
Actually, I don't think they're done. Repents for show hovering around this blue side jungle, but they are outnumbered. Nasty Fox does have ultimate ready again. Confirmed is walking up, but it does look like they're just going to get away safe. Do you think the Herald was worth? It didn't get the charge onto the mid tower. It only chunked out the inhibitor first. Or the inhibitor tower.
No, you didn't get the inhib tower. You're probably not going to get the inhib tower for a while now. I wouldn't say it was really worth. That mid inner tower's not worth that much when the outer towers are still up.
Yes. Juicy Dragon spawning in about 20 seconds. Having a quick look at vision overall here. Not a whole lot of vision actually around the dragon for Art of Chase. Only got the one approach warded, and in contrast, no vision in the spot for river either from hit or miss.
If they can catch out someone here. Or Repents is overstepping. He's overstepped quite hard here.
Actually confirmed, we will be letting that knock up onto Repents. He's cataclysmed himself in, but it's in
Don't place used. Casa is just.
And we'll be just trying to get live. Casa going for the bot lane of hit or miss and will be taken out.
DP's come in.
Overstepping. Jäger not quite getting that face breaker. We'll be looking pretty safe here.
So Art of Chase now in a 4v5.
And the flag and drag and 3-man knock up onto Art of Chase. Set to bring that ultimate back into the team, but Jägerbomb is in the back line of hit or miss. But it's not enough. He'll be falling, and it's just confirmed. And Nasty Fox left to the Buffalo Goose duo. Confirmed. Yeah, Windwall will keep alive a little bit longer, but it's not quite enough.
Rise power.
Oh, but it does get that ultimate for the extra shield pop. Vivi gets
through Vivi.
That tower dive.
Vivi's
will
dead,
fall.
but
they trade 2 for 1. But ultimately, not a good game for AOC.
Yeah, AOC didn't focus all of their power there. If they focused all their power onto the Jarvan and burst him out early, then they can start turning around.
Cass actually going for that engagement. Buffalo Goose getting a nice riposte. That stun duration will be enough to finish.
Why is Horns going in?
And now Horns walking in as well, forced to flash away. But Buffalo Goose on that Fiora has so much presence.
In this game, I have realised that the Horns still seems like they're
4-man GP actually coming underneath the inhibitor tower. Repent's tanking that tower. Will survive. Sorry for interrupting you.
I like watching this game. Horns still seems like he's still been playing as if he was playing the mid lane. He hasn't been in the bot lane helping out Nasty. He's 3 levels behind the enemy support, and he's only accomplished 4.6 thousand gold in 23 minutes as a support, whereas Morgana's got 7.4.
Yeah. So roaming on Alistar is pretty good. If you have the Mobies, you're pretty much forced into roaming. Unfortunately, didn't really get much done from it. There's not much more you can say really about that. Alistar's not too gold dependent. Like once you got that first couple of items, you're mainly just relying on your ultimate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Horns there. Notable items, 25 stacks. Buffalo Goose finished off on that Magi's in that last fight. That Rise has gone from not too much of a threat to huge threat. Well, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to catch Cassidy out there. Repents doesn't really have anything to follow it up.
There's the TP in from Buffalo Goose 2.
And Buffalo Goose Nasty, number 1 actually going for Nasty Fox here. Horns is there.
Stepping up into Fiora as Kai'Sa, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, the 2v1 is not quite what Buffalo Goose wants right now, as just the amount of pressure he can put out is what Hit or Miss want. They want pressure in that bot lane from Buffalo Goose, as the rest of them are left to pressure this Baron.
So I'm surprised Hit or Miss haven't just gone towards that Baron.
They're hovering around it. I think they're looking for a pick before they start this off. Would you see Cass charging that key?
They know at worst they have a 4v3. Ash can get through the Baron fairly speedily, especially with Jarvan's
That's it.
speed,
Catching out
attack speed
Eagle.
buff.
But now in the 4v4,
So they waited long enough that
you're actually not going over the wall, and the
AOC
Flying Drag will catch out 3 members of AOC. Cass will hold 3 of them in, but Cass is staying alive a long time. Knockout from Jaeger hitting 2 members of Hit or Miss. We do see Horns stuck in the middle there as Buffalo Goose.
There's Rise running forwards.
On the back line will survive with that. Just impossible to kill Rise. Nice Hourglass.
That's likely going to be game 2.
This does look like game 2 will be going to Hit or Miss.
Some rough games for Art of Chase.
Yep, and
But it's okay. Maybe the game might be changed now, as we have got the people on the support at 25 minutes of Auto Chase now. So maybe there might be a chance for their team.
yeah,
Of course, this is 2 games, so this is the last game.
Yep, Nexus Tower's falling, Inhibitor falling in that bot lane. Buffalo Goose just making sure that his split push was noted. Not actually coming in from Horns, but Horns will be very, very dead. Yeomom just trying to get out of the damage to defend. I suppose going for that ultimate into Vivica, but it's just not enough to finish him off. And that's game 2 to Hit or Miss.
Go 2-0 for hit and miss. Hit or miss. They definitely hit this game. So, yeah, that was a more convincing game, I would say, than game 1 for them.
Yes.
They had a bit of a roadblock in the earlier game. However, yeah, Rise carried them straight through that first game. And you can see, again, probably if we go to damage, I'd expect Rise has still done a lot of damage.
A pillar through his team. See a lot of damage out from Ashe on Vivica as well. And actually just a very solid performance from Hit or Miss. As you said, they definitely hit. MVPs?
MVPs. I mean, this one's a bit harder because Rise didn't solo carry this. The only lane which was really sort of going badly for them, I would say, was mid lane. Rise did start falling behind, but overall, again, he's done the most damage. He's even got the Medjais.
Yeah, 25 stacks by that last dragon fight was they didn't have to do it.
I would say Nasty Fox is definitely the MVP for Art of Chase. Some good positioning, farmed well against the Ashe Morgana.
Did what he needed to, but
did exactly what he needed to, but just couldn't get the peel off from the team. I probably would argue the fact that the MVP for Hit or Miss would be Jarvan. Jarvan the 4th. He did a lot in the early game. He brought his team. At one point, he was the one with the most kills on the team, the most assists. He started off all the lanes and he got them through that early to get them that power spike they needed.
yeah, I'd agree. I might even give the MVP to Jarvan's Gargoyle Stoneplate in particular, because that solo won them a few team fights where just the amount of time it bought them was insane.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you. I think, yeah, Repents on that J4, a really, really solid showing, and actually just pulling a lot of weight and almost being the back for his team to stand on. And as for AOC, yeah, I think I'd probably give it to Nasty Fox as well. I'm hovering between giving it to Nasty Fox and Confirmed, because Confirmed did have that strong lane performance, but yeah, Nasty Fox did at least have that presence throughout the game. Confirmed felt like as soon as lane phase finished, it sort of started to fizzle. But yeah.
Yep.
If we unless we have anything else to say, we'll be going. Actually, do we have anything else to say before I do that?
I don't know. Do we
transition?
want to attempt to do an interview?
We can do. I forget the interviews. Yes. I don't know if we have any contact for Hit or Miss.
Is there anyone from Hit or Miss in chat that would like to be interviewed?
Yes. Let us know.
Throw that out and wait 10, 20
Yeah.
seconds. I don't know. How far behind are we?
We should be almost instantly, so just a couple seconds. But yeah. Yeah. If there is anyone from Hit or Miss in the chat, let us know. If not, we can move into our break and get ready for our second game of the day, which will be Valkyrie 5 against the Generation of Prodigies.
The jungler of Hit or Miss is actually in the chat. Glory UK, they were saying, and Nasty Fox was saying that the actual name on ESDL is Glory UK.
True. So, Glory UK, no pressure.
I mean, that depends. If Glory UK would like to be interviewed, hit us up. Otherwise, we'll have a short break before the next game.
I'm nervous.
Oh, damn nervous. No worries, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, no, it's not compulsory.
It is something we like to offer the winning team.
Yeah, it's brand new this split. There's meant to be lots of new stuff this split, but you know how so I spent a little bit of time prepping some like champ select music, and I forgot it for both champ selects this time.
Oh,
so I'm
no!
Try and remember it. I'm gonna try and remember it for the champ selects of the next game. Oh, we don't have any because it's a replay.
Yep.
Next time we'll have champ selects.
Next time we can play it for the break.
Yeah. We can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Tell you what, it does look like Glory UK is up for it, so let's grab a invite for the channel. Right, I will send it to you via Twitch, the Discord. Actually, I can. If anyone is in, I clicked the wrong button, so you can forget about the minute. If anyone is interested in coming in, that is the Discord link for the casting Discord that we were working on. And if you are from Hit or Miss, if you join the Waiting to be Moved channel, then we can move you into the casting couch.
Yes, we can move you to our casting couch. It's very comfortable.
Let's swap over to our camera one and change it. Not because it's not casters, it's now.
Wait.
The damn interview.
Wait, do you have a thing to say who we're interviewing? Wait, we have an interview thing?
It's just the same as the camera screen, but it just says interview at the top instead of camera. You're in general.
General.
Cool. Let's drag you up.
Hello, Glory UK.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
So, nice and loud.
Obviously you got the 2-0 here. Were you expecting to 2-0 them? Start with
I don't know, to be brutally honest. There was a bit of a last minute sub, so
last minute sub.
Yeah. And
okay,
so missed ban on the first game.
So there was something going on with the Jarvan pick in the second game. Some sort of confusion over not having the champion. Do you want to give us
so I've subbed for them before, and we played Clash, and I played Jarvan, where you have all the champions in Clash. But since my main account's been banned, I'm obviously having to play on like ludicrously low accounts. I can't be bothered to unlock them all again. So, for instance, that first account was like it's got top lane champions on, so very few junglers, but it didn't have Jarvan, nor did I have enough shards or anything to buy Jarvan in time. My PC reset, so they just assumed I could play Jarvan.
I see.
So yeah, it wasn't ideal.
Not ideal. So going into this game, of course you took the Conqueror, but you ended up building full tank Jarvan. Was that a spur of the moment thing during the game? You thought to change into full tank, or did you just take the Conqueror anyway because of how strong Conqueror is as a rune?
Well, yeah, Conqueror is just OP as hell it feels, but it feels like you actually do a little bit of damage when you go full tank Jarvan with it. But I saw them all AD, and it was just a no-brainer. So I'm surprised that even in myself that went Stoneplate. I just realised that I was getting blown up when I was ulting. I think I ulted 2 in the Dragon Pit and just got blown up, so I went Hourglass, and then I was like, well, I have to build into something now, so just ended up going.
And the Stoneplate was in fact a great pick here. So obviously being a sub to the team, how was it fitting in with what general structure they already have? You said you played with them somewhat before. Yeah,
I've played them a couple of times before. I think their jungler seems to be not here very often, so I've played them in Clash and probably like Flex a couple of times as well. So it's quite nice actually. We all just have a laugh, and it's not like any particular one of them shot calls or anything like that. But I bring that from my other team a little bit, so you just calling targets out. Really, it's nothing exciting.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Does anyone else have any questions? I realise I am just hogging all of the questions.
That is perfectly okay. I was just waiting because I thought I saw for show in chat because we had 2 members if we wanted to, but I think he's gone away now. I feel like, actually, yeah, questions are into chat as well. I feel like one thing I do want to talk about is, I know it's a bit hard because you obviously don't play with these guys all the time, but when you came into these games, was it like, okay, we know what we want to draft, or was it as you're sitting there, you're like, okay, let's just
it was very much
wing it?
just pick what you want to play. It wasn't really around a team comp or anything like that. It was just a case of, right, what can everyone play? This, that, and the other. Okay, we'll just do that. Particularly with me having a limited champion pool, that's why I was first picking the first game, just so I could get something. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no real thought process. It didn't feel like.
Yeah.
So you said you played with them before. Do you know the
Yes.
secrets of cloning?
Oh
what,
yes. Obviously this
cloning.
team has Buffalo Goose and his clone Buffalo Goose too. So do you know how they managed to get the same person twice?
Oh, it's just they're like really good friends, so they're called the same account, same name.
I see. Damn, I was hoping I could clone myself, make it a lot
No,
easier.
sorry. I don't think
Duos
you'd
would be
want
so
to
much easier.
clone Buffalo anyway. Right.
Yeah, so apparently they assumed you played Jarvan because they scouted your other account. Okay.
Oh, I see. Oh, as in, yeah, my team, well, by assumed to play Jarvan, I do play Jarvan, but I just didn't own it on that account, so.
Got yeah. Yeah. Unless you have any other questions.
Is there anything you want to say to stream?
Yeah.
Not particularly. Thanks for the MVP. Did you do a series MVP as well? Though I missed it. So I was...
Oh, we didn't do a series
didn't.
MVP this time. We usually save those for the best of threes.
Okay.
Or best of five. Do we have best of fives? I don't think we do.
There aren't. I think there should be. But there we go.
yeah. Thank you for coming on.
You're very welcome, and thanks for having me, I guess.
Yeah, we will be diving into our break right now. We will see you guys in about 5 minutes for our second game, which is Valkyrie 5 versus the Generation of Prodigies.
Enjoy, wait.
See you then. Thank you.
See you then.
Will you save me or burn me down? I was ready to surrender my heart to you, only you. These lights all around me keep blinding my eyes from you and the truth. Don't tell me why. I know, you won't save my life. Save my life. Baby, keep on, you're making the waves. You and I will never be saved. Be saved. If the walls come down, will you pick me off the ground? If the walls come down, will you save me or burn me down? And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word.
Alright, and we are back for
Indeed.
second game of the split. Now, I'm going to move to our camera screen for a second, but of course it is an absolute mess because it's expecting us to have
Oh.
two. That one can go. Cool, okay. Sure. This is gonna,
So,
it's
like,
gonna look a
super
little bit
zoomed in on me.
scuffed. No, it's got me twice because I just moving it across. There we go. It's okay. Discord's a little bit scuffed when you do cameras. Where are you? There you are. TLDR, Discord's weird with there you are. Oh, there's the bottom half of your face.
There's oh,
Yeah, oh, there you go. You're coming.
we'll get there
There
eventually.
you go. And you're back. Oh, that's what it's called. There we go. High production value stream.
Nice, nice.
Okay. So, game 2.
Game 2.
Valkyrie 5
Oh, wow.
against the generation of Prodigies. We did lose Alex, or MrOuldy, this time. He has gone to play some games with his team. So yeah, this is our now duo cast. We're back to the normal.
To our regular casting.
Yeah, back to our regular
Regular programming.
Yes. Okay,
Oh,
so
dear.
because we don't have champ select for this one, I kind of just want to do a quick like talk over of, you know.
What we have.
Yeah.
So
Would you like to do a rundown of things?
So on the side of Valkyrie 5, we have George, who appears to be top lane,
Yes, George the top.
and he's got on this game.
Oh, that's a good
He's
point.
a
I
sub.
should load up the game.
I believe he's a sub. At least I didn't have him down when scouting. We've
Yes.
got O'Neill in the jungle, who is managed to get a hold of Jarvan. He plays a lot of everything. Jarvan is his most played champion, so not too surprised they pick him Jarvan when needed. Preston has subbed in for the mid lane. Seen Preston before. He's managed to get his hands on Cassiopeia. We've got Caitlyn for Kyles in the bot lane. Caitlyn is second most played for Kyles in ranked, so not too surprising there. And Nami for Why So Serious. Nami's just a very strong lane pick. Caitlyn, Nami's a very annoying lane. So yeah, that's the side of Valkyrie 5. We have Ornn, Jarvan, Cassio, Caitlyn, Nami. A very strong team fighting team with a lot of knockups. If we go over to the other side for Generation of Prodigies, we have Uncle Drew in the top lane. He's managed to get his hands on the Renekton, which is his most played champion, or highest mastery champion, so it's definitely a comfort pick. He tends to be very good at CSing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to bully the Ornn out. We've got Catilli on in the jungle. He seems to have swapped with Pero. Catilli's playing the Lee Sin, and Pero's now in the mid lane playing LeBlanc, who I believe is his most played mid laner. I make we've seen before is in the bot lane, has got his hands on the Ashe, which is just a very strong champion, has played quite a lot of it, and Jeopardy is now a support player, and is picked up the Alistar, which is just a nice, strong pick.
Yeah. So, are you ready to go? I've got us in the game. I'll rewind us to the very beginning, and we can do a little countdown.
Yeah.
Make sure we're both in time. It's the first time we've done a replay.
Remind me what the shortcut is to play.
Oh, to play
you.
space.
No. Space. Yes, that was it. I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it.
Right.
Okay.
Let's go in.
So
3, 2, 1, space. No, it wasn't space. I'm just gonna click play.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Whatever. We're a few seconds out. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8. You can work it out. Okay. So, had a quick rundown of our teams. Runes look fairly standard. I'm surprised to see the Phase Rush on Preston's Cassiopeia over the Conqueror. Conqueror, I think, is just the superior pickup in that matchup. But Phase Rush is a viable option. It does just give you much more kiting potential over just the survivability and just disgusting stacking ability that is Conqueror. Everywhere else looks fairly standard runes. Things to note, we do have an Ignite on Unticle Drew's Renekton. No TP, so George will have that TP advantage. In fact, no TPs on the side of Generation of Prodigies. So yeah, George does have that TP advantage ability over Drew.
And press the attack on the Renekton, so yep, a very strong early fight. He's looking to really push this Ornn out of the game. Ornn, of course, last time he got touched, lost some armor. That was his last nerf, so he should be weaker into this matchup than he used to be, which is not great for the Ornn.
Yep,
we see he decided to start Corrupting Pot, which is an interesting start on a champion where realistically you don't really want to back much.
Yeah, we did see early ward coming out from Generation of Prodigies on the Raptors of Neil. Okay. Things to know, Neil starting this bottom side on that red buff is going to get spotted by that ward, just about. But deciding against walking to the Raptor camp, so you actually might have missed that. Katili starting on that red buff top side, so it could be looking some bot lane pressure. How do you feel about these comps? Because of course we didn't get our spectators delay to talk about the comps as a whole.
So, I mean, I'd say the comp on the side of Valkyrie 5 is a lot easier to execute. You've just got a very classic sort of team fight style comp. You sort of do, well, you don't really on the other side. On the side of Generation of Prodigies, you have a Lee Sin and you've got a LeBlanc, so you sort of much more want to split up this fight and be trying to pick people out. You don't really have a massive frontliner. Your Renekton as well has gone for press the attack. And doesn't have the TP, so I wouldn't be expecting them to be looking for a lot of TP plays.
Yeah, the TP... Unless Uncle Drew can really abuse the fact that he's taken Ignite here into George, I think Valkyrie 5 just have the more optimal summon choice, should I say. So actually, Heavy Trace coming out of this top lane. Uncle Drew getting a lot of damage that press the attack into the double dash wall and first blood on to George.
Yep.
I said you need to make use of the Ignite.
George using his only disengage option there to eat into a wall. Not away from the Renekton. TP's back in.
No,
this is very risky.
That knock up. The other thing I do want to pick up on is actually that Preston went for the Ignite over the teleport on the Cassiopeia. Again, I'm a much bigger fan of the teleport on the Cassiopeia.
Personally, I would have considered even taking Cleanse here. Just even for the Ashe Arrow, the lockdown from the LeBlanc chain. Ignite is very aggressive.
I suppose I don't think with Phase Rush I wouldn't go Cleanse for the LeBlanc, but Ashe of course, yeah, because of course with the Phase Rush move speed you'll easily be able to break those LeBlanc chains. But yeah, first dragon is going to be an Infernal. We have a 1 in 3 chance of seeing another Cloud Soul today.
Gotta love Cloud
We
Souls.
do love our Cloud Souls. Who are you expecting to be going for this?
Probably an attempted sneak from the side of the Generation of Prodigies. I'd expect to see Lee Sin just attempt to do the dragon at some point.
See him bubble into a double knock up in the spot lane. Jeopardy gonna land that stun on to Why So Serious. But iMake just doesn't output enough damage quite yet.
So, Ashe is the preferred pick into Caitlyn, but that's not because she does a lot of damage in all-ins early. It's more due to the W poke being able to effectively trade.
Poke from volley is obnoxious to say the least. But yeah, I would honestly, going back to this dragon point, I would honestly give the early pressure and the early advantages of it to Generation of Prodigies with something like the LeBlanc and I suppose the Lee. I was going to say the Renekton, but of course without teleport, I'm not really in a position to be able to help with these early dragons. Just have a better early game ability to fight than, say, someone like Cassiopeia or Kazuma, who are more item reliant.
We might see a fight in this bot
Yeah,
lane.
do you actually see O'Neal?
Jeopardy's out of position.
Walks up to O'Neal.
Where?
Bubble
What?
into the flag and drag, but so much damage out. Cars will be taken out. Jeopardy, O'Neal looking pretty low. Cthulhu flashing away over that wall. Heal coming out to save O'Neal.
Turn back onto
iMake
iMake.
now left in that bush alone,
What was Jeopardy doing?
walking up without the vision. And that's what happens. You get bubbled into the flag and drag. And that is a dead Jeopardy.
Dead Jeopardy, dead iMake, and that's Infernal Dragon gifted. Nice. Gift wrapped.
Things to note, Jeopardy might be a little bit rusty on the support, considering, in fact, 2 weeks ago when we last casted Generation Prodigies, Jeopardy was their jungler. So, obviously we moved down to support. Not the most comfortable role for him, but yes. Other notes are Kshidi was their old mid laner, but now El Perro has been moved in instead. So
What George is doing here. If you don't see, he's trying to keep the wave as close to his tower as possible to nullify how strong... Ooh, unlucky from Jeopardy there. To nullify how strong Renekton can be in chasing him down. If he's near his tower, he can always turn it into a tower dive, which Renekton's going to struggle with into an Ornn.
He does have the Ignite backup though, so Drew may be looking for another kill onto George here. Go with that engage, but George is getting the better out of that trade. Honestly, this is a much calmer game than our last one of AOC and Hit or Miss, where we had, I think it was 4 kills in like 3 minutes. So it's been much nicer to have a bit of extra time to breathe. Preston just getting a nice bit of damage actually onto Arrow there. But we're looking pretty chill.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we have a Jarvan-Lee matchup, and so far we've seen one gank.
Yeah, and
7.5
actually that was
minutes in.
Jeopardy unfortunately walking in to O'Neal on that Jarvan. So yes. Interesting, we've already got that 15 CS lead for George in that top lane on Ornn. We did just see Kyle's disconnect from the game there. I'm sure he'll be back. 10 lead already for O'Neal over Katili. Mid's looking pretty even, as well as bot lane, only about 4 or 5 differences there. So actually, just based on CS alone, Valkyrie 5 already starting to build up this gold lead, even if we discount those 2 kills worth of gold as well.
Of them. O'Neal's looking for something here, just sitting in the bush.
Yep, sitting in this bush in bot lane.
Really holding very long.
Waiting for iMake and Jeopardy to step up, but Tilly is on the Scuttle Crab, so he's sort of around.
Tilly's going to look for gank here. It's just the
we do see
5000
O'Neal
IQ.
picking off iMake there, forcing him to flash away.
Jeopardy
Carl stepping
knocks
forward,
Nami
getting a nice
away.
knock up into the Cataclysm, and iMake will be falling. O'Neal now catching Katili in that Cataclysm. And
Preston's
Jeopardy
also
just
beat Perro.
slowly walking to
get
beaten
here.
down. And yeah, Preston was didn't actually get anything out of that. But yeah,
Absolute disaster for Generation of Prodigies.
Yeah, Generation Prodigies actually Uncle Drew going for another engage here, popping that ignite, forcing George to flash here. We'll be getting away safely.
A little bit far up. Has to push in that wave really, but yeah, it's not somewhat unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it does feel like Generation of Prodigies are crumbling already. We're not even well, we are just approaching this 10-minute mark. We're already landing onto I make. No damage will be
Ooh,
going
traps.
out down there.
Just placed a little
The
off.
Hex Flash coming in from Jeopardy. Carl's
Isn't
perfectly
quite
fine,
close
though.
enough to get anything.
Okay, so next dragon is spawning in just over a minute and a half. It's going to be a mountain. Do you think Generation of Prodigies are really going to be in a spot to contest this now? Because that's a 2-0 Caitlyn. She's got that BF sword. I would assume she gets another base off before the dragon. She's sitting on about 1,500 gold already.
They shouldn't be able to contest it. Whether they will be able to, we'll see.
Because originally I would give Generation of Prodigies this early advantage, as I said, with the Lee Sin, the LeBlanc, and unfortunately Renekton doesn't have teleport, so I can't count the Renekton here. And of course, with iMake being level 6, that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it's got such pick potential. But actually, you see Katili in this top lane. George using that dash away, but
And
Katili
kick
will be getting
back.
that ward hop into the kick. George
O'Neil
looking
is
pretty healthy.
here.
Call of the Forge coming out.
Oh.
A nice knockup from O'Neil. Into the knockup from
Double
Forge
knockup.
God. In will be taking out
And
Uncle Drew. And
clap
Katili is here,
down.
but a nice
Tilly picks
ward
up the
hop
trade,
into the queue.
but
Katili will be
Preston's on the
finished
way.
off George there. But Preston is here to unfortunately not get anything from that.
And O'Neil decides to take that rather than leaving it for Preston. I don't know. I think I would have let Cassiopeia take that kill.
Yeah, Preston's had 2 unfortunate roams. When he went bot lane, didn't pick up any, no kills, no assists there. And just roamed up to his top lane, picked up nothing again. But
Yeah, I think I would have preferred the Cassio to be a lot further ahead there. Just give her the 300 kill gold.
donating 300
Yeah.
kills, 300 kills? 300 gold to a Cassio can really sway this matchup and make it so difficult for LeBlanc.
Especially when you're
Really
building tank
survive the
Jarvan.
lane. Another Hex Slash coming in, getting the knockup.
Double
onto the bot
knockup.
lane. Oh, Valkyrie 5. I make on the
Enchanted
side
Crystal
here.
Arrow
Kyle is
and-
left on his own in this 3v1. 4 if we count Katili, just on those edges there.
Now, like
Into
I
a
said,
dragon for Generation of Prodigies.
they shouldn't have been able to get it. But they do. O'Neil's topside deciding to prioritize that Rift Herald, wanting the extra gold. Yeah, I mean, you can give up a Drake.
Yep, and that does put us on a Cloud Rift. Who would have guessed it?
Everyone
ooh,
loves Cloud.
Preston
Ooh.
not quite landing that ultimate. Katili baited it out. We'll be picking up a
Katili-
splash, but
Uses his Sonic Wave a little too quickly there. Is it Sonic Wave for Q? I think so.
yes.
Doesn't wait for the Alistar combo to come in and misses it on the Cassio, so he can't follow up effectively.
And then that time as well, Herald was dropped top lane, giving George and O'Neil a nice bit of plating gold.
I find that a
actually,
bit
we do see the junglers
surprising.
have a small possible skirmish here.
You're
See,
funneling a lot of gold
O'Neil's
into your
guarding this.
Ornn? I suppose if your tanks get tanky enough, they're unlikely to die, but
We do see Preston here, ready to contest. Katili will be picked off there. First
Nice miasma.
Preston now and Kuju in an unfortunate spot here, as he's in the 3v1. Will
Get
dash
the
over that
overwall.
wall there,
Ooh.
and is safe to escape. But El Perro there to try and pick off O'Neil there, nicely dodging
Missed
the
the
chain, flashing
chain.
over the wall in to the blast pond. And
I-
O'Neil is out safe.
I don't feel like O'Neil needed to flash there. After the chains missed, I think he probably could have just walked out.
El Perro did
If
still
the
have
LeBlanc-
ultimate, so there was definitely damage available.
No, ultimate's only just come off cooldown.
Oh, yeah, so then
Maybe they didn't know that, but
Preston is in this bush, hasn't been seen, getting a lot of damage out onto El Perro here. Does not have ultimate, doesn't have a whole lot of mana, but is enough to pressure El Perro away.
they might be looking for this top tower.
Yep. Both started channeling recall, both cancelled it. Demolish on George will send this tower going down a lot quicker. And actually there's nothing they can do to contest this. And we do see Katili coming in using that blast spawn into this bot lane in the 3v2. The wave to slow down Katili, but Jeopardy will be getting that knock up onto Vice Serious, knocking him back into iMake, and will be most likely finished off there. Carl's using that net to get closer to his turret, but the Enchanted Crystal Arrow
Ooh,
will land
straight
into
to
the
the
Sonic
face.
Wave. But TP
Yeah, I'm not
coming
sure
in
about that,
behind
tidal
George,
wave.
gonna get this knock up onto Katili. It's trying to flash away, but it's not quite far enough away.
Flash is
iMake
close to the
down
wall.
as O'Neil gets smites him down, use that cataclysm, but forces the flash away.
Heals
iMake
and-
will get away alive. Don't think, he
I
needed
think
to
there are a
heal that.
few. I think he wanted to try and greed keep his flash. but in the end, he has to end up using Flash anyway, so you can argue whether Flash or Heal would have been better.
Yeah. Interesting itemization choice. We do see Carl's going for that Storm Razors before the Infinity Edge. Still going to give him, a lot of damage, a lot of pressure. Just the wrong way round to what we typically see on Caitlyn's this patch.
So, yeah, it's not what you usually expect to see, but it does give you a lot of kiting potential, and when there's a Lee Sin, Renekton, LeBlanc trying to get onto you, as well as the Alistar, who's probably just going to end up running at you, I don't think it's a bad pick. I would expect to see an Infinity Edge being built next, though. Otherwise, you're going to be severely lacking in damage.
You see, actually, while Sirius getting quite out here, while trying to ward, Katili doing a decent amount of damage out, using that ward up to get closer, but while Sirius could get away here, dodging that Sonic Wave will land on Carl instead, though, but the volley will pick up by Sirius.
They're going to overchase
this.
left
to go away. A nice ground from Preston to catch both El Perro and Keely out there. And the 2-for-1 trade overall.
They forget that, we haven't seen anyone on the map while doing this entire play, and just walk straight into the double.
It's unfortunate. It was a good start to the play, but of course, yeah, without the vision, Valkyrie 5 were able to return and actually come out on top in that trade.
I do want to point out is George did build an early Bramble Vest, and while I would say this is good, usually, where is actually the healing that he's reducing on the enemy team?
So...
Is he building it early for the Ashe? Because he's not joining up with his team just yet. It's not like Renekton went Conqueror and is going to be healing. He's not built a Bork first.
It is an interesting
seems
pickup.
just like
I think, if
a
if
rush because you're used to building it into Conqueror champions and forgetting maybe.
Yeah, because Lee Sin's got Katili's got Conqueror in that Lee Sin, but of course not going to be too big of that. Ground actually going to land on El Perro into the Call of the Forge God. He's unable to move, can't use that distortion to get away.
Just at some point he'll work out what Miasma does.
Yeah, unfortunate for Preston. Is LeBlanc's W distortion?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's not the ult. The ult's something else.
I think it's that and Dissonance that I get mixed up with the Orianna W.
Dissonance isn't Dissonance the Orianna Q?
No,
No, that's command
attack,
move
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Anyway, completely off topic. We do see this dragon. On topic, we do see this dragon that started Carl's Amos Sirius getting a little bit of damage onto Jebediah here. I mean, he can't step up, but
he's just going to get run down.
Drew and the rest of Generation of Prodigies will be going in. They're getting this pick up onto O'Neal. Cataclysm will hold them still as Carl's Amos Sirius are there to them down. Preston channeling that ult, but it won't catch anyone with the stun. Uncle Drew will be melting through his team, but he's not quite got enough health. He will actually be out of life here as El Perro goes for the chains on to West Sirius. Will be picking up that kill. And now it's just Carl's alive. Does have the ultimate available.
So, interesting
that
point.
blue trinket to catch him.
On can join. So On can join, and Valkyrie 5 still almost won that fight. Arguably, could say they did win the fight because they could just go to take the Drake now. Carl's probably won't. Just to Caitlyn, you don't want to get caught out. And they did get a top tower for it.
Yep, George is just mowing his way through that top lane. Honestly, if this was the style that George wanted to play, I would have liked to see something else picked.
Something with a bit more split push power.
Yeah, like a Fiora. Just something that just has a bit
Or
more
I would have liked to
presence
see
in
a slightly different build on the Ornn. Maybe, you go that rare Triforce Ornn and you go for the entire split push power. And you can laugh, but I'll tell you, Triforce Ornn, I've not lost a game with it.
Have you played a game with it?
I have.
Okay.
I've played a few.
Okay.
At least 2.
At least 2. And that's what betters are decided on, ladies and gents. 2 games. Preston not quite going to finish that mid tower there. Actually, in the 1v3, it's going to be safe to walk away, though. So, approaching this 20-minute mark, 6k behind, Generation of Prodigies. What is their next move here?
Think about your next comp. Yeah, you're playing a team which needed to win early realistically, and yeah, you're not winning early. you're probably going to slowly bleed out this game unless Valkyrie 5 really mess up. So think about what went wrong, what you need to ban.
Do something up this Herald in the meantime, but yes, it is. It's looking like it's just crumbling for the Generation of Prodigies. And
Real
that's
talk, if you
unfortunate.
want to try and get ahead, you need to force them to meet you on side lanes. You need to put Renekton into Ornn, and Renekton needs to be able to win that 1v1. And then you put LeBlanc on the other side lane.
No, he's fine. But yeah, just for looking at items and gold, actually, I'm probably get a tower dive here. O'Neal standing on the side there.
Yep.
I mean, it's on his own. O'Neal walking
Left
around
on
the
his
side.
own. His Knight's Vow Alistar has not Knight's Vowed up to him
is
yet. It
going to be safe to walk away.
does manage to walk out.
But yeah, as I was saying about items, look at... Hey, let's just say look at mid, just because I think this is the biggest item discrepancy that I can find. Alpero hasn't finished an item yet. He's not even got the full looms. We're 20 minutes in. Compare that to Preston, has the full Saros, and it's upgraded. And the Leandries.
Yeah, it's a very
upgraded
unfortunate
now.
situation. I wouldn't be surprised if we even just saw a Rabadon's next. Kyle's
Actually,
deciding
I
to take
make
some 1v1.
forced to heal. Just in that 1v1 with Carl's. But yeah, only finishing that Luden's at 20 minutes. Alpero's not really a champion anymore. He's missed that point where he's strong. He hasn't actually got the items to be LeBlanc.
So, I mean, the Caitlyn hasn't built any defenses. You can still potentially pop out Caitlyn or pop out the Nami. She does have a little bit of MR, but it's still a Nami at the end of the day. But you're not really going to be providing much else to the team. So I'd expect to just see armor stacking, which you can actually see there is armor stacking. The Ornn decided to finish Thornmail before starting towards his second potential Ornn item. And that just shows you how much of a non-factor LeBlanc is right now.
Yeah,
That Ornn would
finishing that Thornmail,
prefer-
actually getting the knock-up onto Alpero is fine though. Yeah, that Thornmail is going to hurt Uncle Drew, it's going to hurt Katili, it's going to hurt iMake. And actually that's almost all of the damage for Generation of Prodigies. Because Alpero is just so far behind. Like, looking at gold, Preston is sitting on, well, has a totaled 8.7k. Alpero has totaled 6.3. There's a 2,500 gold lead there.
Preston's building towards that Rylai's. Rylai's great item. Vastly underrated.
Yeah, we'll just...
With Leandry's already done, makes it even better.
makes it so that they can, you know, keep up with the Ashe, keep up with anything they're going to pick for, actually.
Carlos is fearless, just sees the LeBlanc near the Raptor camp, is still auto-attacking that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, actually, Alpero going for that route onto Wise Sirius, does get the route onto him. We finished off Carl's. You're not going to get caught by that Intractor Crystal Arrow. Nice flash over the wall. Will be out safe. 1-for-0 for Generation of Prodigies.
Meanwhile, Ornn is pressuring that side lane.
No surprise there, but he's going to see behind Valkyrie 5. Becoming TV
I
looking
think-
real low. O'Neal going to finish him off there. Preston and
I think
Carl's
the
going to be
stream's cut
going for
off.
this Jebediah. So iMake is going to be there to force away, to get to meet up even George. And it's a 2-for-1 overall.
Yeah, I mean, this, like I said before, this game's just going to slowly bleed out and eventually Valkyrie 5 will win. They really have to mess up surprisingly hard to be able to lose this now.
Especially as you see that Infinity Edge upgrade going on to Kyle's. Honestly, I
Yeah,
reckon
let's
with
have a check on Kyle's
headshot,
AD.
net headshot,
288.
I think that would be Alpero dead. So, honestly, okay. One thing I do want to talk about this game a little bit is the way George is playing this. Because until that last fight, that TP wasn't used to really help the rest of Valkyrie 5. Although it did. Possible skirmish here. No, it's going to disengage. Yeah, that TP hasn't really been used to help the rest of Valkyrie 5. And actually, he's just been side laning. And it's actually working out. Kyle's actually going to catch iMake out
Surprisingly
here.
well.
But Alpero will be there to match it. Ignite going to take and Kyle's will be falling. Nice
Kyle's
bubble
does actually
into,
fall.
but Cthulhu will go away, kicking the Kaiser away. But O'Neal is now forced to fight 1v1 into Cthulhu. But actually, it's looking pretty close. It's all down to the auto
Some
attacks.
nice jungle combat. Katili just about managed to win it. Surprisingly enough, Black
Really
Cleaver
just.
will outdo armor items.
Honestly, when that fight exploded, it was a please don't walk in two opposite directions. I just zoom out the cameras and actually gonna pick a side. Actually, Oak Root, possibly stepping too far forward. Masma not going to be quite in the right spot to stop him getting away. Soul is going to come up in about 4 minutes now. The game's, I think it's pretty much over. Unless Generation Prodigies have got something insane up their sleeves, or Valkyrie 5 throw this away, I think it's fairly decided.
Valkyrie 5 seem to be trying to do it with their oversteps. Carl's being a bit too aggressive, you could say.
Stepping up to that Baron, I'll actually
to be honest,
vision around.
I don't know why they're not just grouping as 5, pushing down mid and forcing the tower. You're strong enough that you can, and there's not much that can be done against that.
So wave actually does connect. Alparo gotta go for that pivot. Carl's just not quite enough these steps away. Also, that wasn't very good.
No. So yeah, I don't know why they're not just grouping up as 5 in the mid lane, pushing down, taking the tower. You're ahead. You're very far ahead.
They are very much able to. But it does look like pingers are coming out for this Baron. TGP do have vision around their side of the Baron, but nothing on the pit.
But they know they're doing it now.
Yes, that Hawkshot will give them the vision they need.
And this is a more risky play. Yeah, your jungler's up in levels, but...
George is a little bit split off from the team, but he's a very, very tanky one. Call of the Fortune coming out. Going to go for that knockup. Does actually secure the Baron with the Cassiopeia, but now George in the middle of that team. Almost unkillable with the sheer power of that one. Okay, no, won't finish it off. I make there. And that's Baron secured for Valkyrie 5.
There's a classic point. You're very far ahead, and you're sort of coin flipping the Baron when you have no reason to need to coin flip it. They can actually just take the tower without Baron.
Yep, and I mean, we did see that it was actually Preston that secured the Baron, so there was definitely possibility for TLE to steal there. But Inhibitor's falling mid lane, so they're going to rotate down to this bot tower to try and get that inhib as well. Alparo going for that big onto Weiss is serious, but just doesn't have the damage.
That was a big headshot crit.
2 full items, but actually
That's a dead
is just
Katili.
taken out by Carl's. Huge on this Caitlyn. Outdrew forced to use that Dominus to keep himself alive.
Uses a slice and dice,
Cataclysm
which means
does
he's just caught up.
2 of them in there, and the Triumph heals are what keep O'Neal alive. Obviously stacked with those. Heals from Nami as well. With just Oparo alive, this looking like game 1 to go over to Valkyrie 5. That was an unintentional rhyme. That was fairly one-sided,
yeah.
I'll give it that.
So, in terms of what you would want to see banned game 2, we can't see what the bans were, but what are you not expecting to see on a team?
Honestly, for that game, I mean, it's hard to say because it didn't feel like it was Valkyrie 5's, picks that were really pressuring down Generation of Prodigies, but in the sense that they just played it much better. If that makes sense, they executed their comp better. And
that's true.
so...
I think, though, they were having real issues with the miasma. I would expect them to have banned Cassio just over that. They really struggled. They just kept getting caught in the miasmas.
Yeah.
They'd just walk into them, and it was not going great.
Miasma was the bane of especially Alparo's existence in that mid lane, really making things hard for him. But
Yes.
Let's load up game 2 of our replay cast.
Oh,
We of
play
course
is
don't
key, by the
get
way.
champ select, so we don't get to see the bans, and it feels weird doing this.
No.
I'm used to having look at the bans, look at the picks.
Yeah, we might have to start asking people, by the way, can you send us pick ban as well?
Yeah, that would be a nice, just a little bit of information. Oh no. Please tell me OBS hasn't just frozen. And Discord. This is lovely. If OBS hasn't frozen, then you can still hear me. That's good. Discord did freeze as well. It actually looks like Discord was the one that froze. That's cool. Okay.
Maybe I should not live with.
I don't know what you just said. Discord had a bit of a
Nice.
moment there as I was loading up the game. But I think stream was okay. So, swapping
Perfect.
into our game screen.
I hope so. Someone can tell us.
It looks like it was
So,
okay. So, having a look
look
at
at the game.
rundown of our champions. So we have got, oh, let's swap the UI so the team's on the right side. So do you want to give us a rundown of the picks?
This time we see no Caitlyn, we see no Cassio, we see no Ornn. Maybe they were banned, maybe they weren't. How do we know? We do see that this time Kyles is piloting the Ashe, not iMake. iMake instead has Xayah. Xayah's paired with the Morgana, and Ashe is paired with the Karma, so a lot of a stronger early game for the side of Valkyrie 5. High production values. You can
Very
see on the
high
stream, you're
production
just
value
moving them.
indeed.
Pero this time has the Akali playing it into the Nico. Nico has, which Preston has his hands on. Nico has Aerie, so we'll be seeing probably more aggressive auto-attacking, just trying to get a bit ahead. Catilli this time on set. Slightly easier of a champion to execute than Lee Sin. Set's very good at punishing mistakes. I can't see I saw too many mistakes from the other side. George this time has the Shen, another big tank. O'Neal managed to get his hands on Jarvan once again. So we get to see another Jarvan game. Uncle Drew this time piloting the Volley Bear. None of this Renekton.
Ready to count down? We'll click play this time. In 3, 2, 1, go. Right. So yeah, thanks for that rundown. Okay, so what do we need to see Generation Prodigies do this time so that we don't just see a repeat of last game?
Well, you have a volley into Shen. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. That's not going to be a fun matchup for Volley Bear. I guess you probably end up building a split push volley because you're not going to out team fight the Shen with a Volley Bear, and you try and work the side lanes with your volley Kali, so try and get them ahead early. I'd expect a lot of ganks towards them.
Actually,
And then
seeing
your
a
Xayah,
possibly invade here coming up for Generation Prodigies. They do spit out Why So Serious.
they hit
They
the...
hear the binding, but it buys them the time to get closer, but not close enough to secure any first blood. And
I'm
they're back
surprised
off
there, if
now.
they really wanted to go for that, you could have seen Volley take Q and flash the wall. Get the chained stun.
Definitely be a risky play. Could be worth it though.
But they get a little bit of gold on their Morgana.
Yep.
And they get
possibly
the
a Mana Flame
mental
bounce back?
edge.
If I didn't see if she went with secondary.
Let's have a look. No.
No Mana Flame bounce
So,
back.
Morgana has Biscuit's Cosmic Insight as secondary.
Get Cosmic Insights. So she's looking for a little bit of extra lane sustain, which I do not blame, into an Ashe Karma. Just a lot of poke coming out from those two there. We do see Catilli starting on that bottom side red buff, and O'Neal starting on top side red buff. So both junglers swapping sides this time, but starting exactly the same as we did last game, if that makes sense. So blue side starting bottom, red side starting top.
I expect to see an early gank in the against the bot lane by the Jarvan if iMake and Jeopardy manage to push out at all. I don't think they should want to push out, because that's a horrible lane to play again.
Yeah, it did look like Cars was trying to shove in that first wave so that slow push came into them, but obviously with iMake having decent clear as well as Jeopardy, didn't quite go the way he wanted it to there.
Here we can actually see Shen's Q damage. Very good for trading with Volley Bear. Max percent health damage. Yeah, and it's only going to get harder for Volley Bear the longer this goes.
Yeah, so Drew obviously not having the most fun top lane this game. Did actually win his matchup, well, to a degree last game. Had, I think it was 2 solo kills onto George, and then...
He got the early solo kill, and then George sort of managed to keep the wave by his tower for the rest of the early game, which is very well done by him.
Yep, managed the wave well and did manage to keep his lane alive through that. Small skirmish in this top lane actually Drew doing a decent amount of damage to George there. Almost halving his health bar.
Yeah, George staying in the E. Gets punished for not playing around the E properly.
We see Catilli coming in this top lane, popping the extra move speed, but George is able to just dash away freely. So, first dragon this time is an ocean.
Ooh,
Oh, actually, engaged
damage in the
A
mid
lot
lane.
of damage going down on to Preston. El Perro does get ignited.
Both
Both
Preston and El Perro very low. El Perro still has his ignite up, so we might see a re-engage from him to try and finish off Preston. Although Preston's got most of his health back for the use of pots.
I actually see George getting chunked out by Uncle Drew there. Lots and lots of damage. I mean, even with one tower shot landing on Uncle Drew, George still losing that trade overall. Preston could be in a dangerous spot here as we do see Katili was on that top side of mid lane. It's looking actually like he's come back now. Popping that move speed to get in. Preston does have half mana and of course that W to help him get away.
He moves very far forwards after hitting the root there.
Longevity that actually forcing the flash away. Just wants to pop that Q on Ashe. The amount of damage that comes out, a lot of people not respecting it. George saying about the minion block up in that top lane, which made that trade just a bit more difficult for him.
So of course the other bad thing about having a volley bear top is he can't not push. If he wants to CS, he'll often have to attack the wave quick enough to stack his passive, where you basically then just have a static shiv going off every single auto attack.
Yes.
Which is not great if you want to try and...
But O'Neill's here. Gonna get spotted out by a ward, but George and O'Neill looking like they're gonna try and punish this. A nice
looks like he's gonna try and take this fight.
Actually, a lot of damage, but the taunt will come out. O'Neill's actually taking a lot of damage from Uncle Drew here. Will actually get secure the first blood.
W.
And that Triumph extra health will looking like he's getting away safely. In the meantime, we also did see Preston and El Perro nearly have another kill in this mid lane. El Perro getting away on 100 health.
There we see early damage from Volley Bear. If you can get the second proc of the W off on the same target, yeah. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, the amount of damage you can put out, I don't think O'Neill was expecting it. I don't think George was expecting it. Which here we just see how... Okay, so we look at the gold right now. Even though he's a little bit behind on CS, Uncle Drew is now ahead on gold just because of that first blood gold. And actually, he had the lane pressure over George for sort of the majority of the time we saw them up there. So now falling even further behind, George could be looking like he's having a real rough lane here.
Well, the difference there is George is actually managing to CS a lot better than Drew is. And he doesn't need many items really to become very strong.
Katili actually going in on this bot lane. O'Neill is there to follow up. Nice flag and drag into...
Good stun,
actually,
but...
flashing Katili forward to try and get that stun. Or flashing just running forward. Actually, a nice route coming out from Preston into the ultimate. Will lock down both bot lane from Valkyrie 5. Generation Prodigies even. Giving that double kill over to O'Neill.
Yeah, Generation of Prodigies just not on the same page there at all. Katili oversteps, and then Aimake and Jebediah both overstep after he's already died. Don't manage to pick up that kill on Why So Serious. Really just a disaster for them.
And that does send Baron 1 over to the side of Valkyrie 5.
At the very least, what you can say is that only one kill went on to a true carry instead of the Jarvan.
Yeah, Jarvan did pick up the double kill there. I don't think there's as much pressure for O'Neill to go the Cinderhulk Jarvan build this game, considering George is on that Shen. But I still think he's going to buy it. I still think we're going to see Cinderhulk Jarvan. And if Preston and Carls don't maintain this lead, that could be a real issue for Valkyrie 5. Just with damage.
Yeah, I think you'd always build Cinderhulk here. You maybe get a cleaver if you really want to build some damage. I don't think you go full damage because you will just get shredded by a Kali. And good Kai'Sa placement, good Morgana stun means you'll just die. Oh, nice sidestep from Carls in the bot lane.
Does avoid that binding overall. Okay, so approaching this 10-minute mark, Generation Prodigies is falling behind about 2,000 gold. How do we want to see them play to not have a repeat of last game?
I mean, it's your bot lane. I think that's falling the first, but there's a massive gap in mid lane. You need to get your Kali into this game, really. So I like this roam from Jeopardy, just not the right timing or entering the lane from the correct place.
Preston
Yeah.
have that W to escape that. He doesn't actually know he's there. He did probably watch him walk over. But we'll see, that's gonna...
Ooh,
He's gonna be safe.
slight
Just want to engage in this
slight
lane.
mess
Once
up
he's
there.
taking a lot of damage, actually, going down. Reduced down to half health.
I make ease slightly too quickly, meaning that he doesn't get the auto off, doesn't get the root.
Achilles here.
Ooh,
In the top
Perez
lane. Oh,
goes
in
the
mid lane.
solo kill.
Alvaro going for that kill on Preston, finishing
That's
up
a
that
top lane
R2.
dive as well.
Tower dive. Uncle Drew using that ultimate to shut down that tower. And we'll finish off George at the same time. Chile will be pressuring O'Neal as well. Getting that red buff ticking down. But without that
Yeah, and now Kyles gets
rooted
rooted by a bind. There's the Morgana ultimate. There's another
actually landing that stun on, getting that stun onto himself, and I make using that root just to pull in, finish off Kyles there.
Worth noting that was in the top lane as well. Tower dive happened. O'Neal managed to trade 1-for-1, but Katili doesn't take the aggro, and so actually manages to escape. George is coming straight in for him though now. Should be able to pick this up.
There, but staying a bit too long. A nice taunt coming out, and we'll get time to use that W shield.
Waiting for Shen's taunt to come back up. Decides to back off. TP saves.
So this game felt so calm and so chill, not a whole lot happening. And then when something did happen, it happened in all 3 lanes at once.
Yes.
It's like they all had this like kill switch to go.
But that was an overall win in my books for Generation of Prodigies. You got your Akali a kill. You got your Volibear.
Not over yet, actually, as we do see Preston roaming up into this top lane. Uncle Drew will get rooted and unable to really do much about that.
Overall, not really a win for either team. Yeah, yeah, I mean, that was going great until you lost that final kill there. Getting your Akali sort of into the point where she's starting to solo kill on the side lane. You can set up a 1-3-1 with Volibear on the other side and work from that. Looks like Volibear's going to build some strange tank build. I'm not really sure.
Frozen Fist Class, I think that one is.
Yeah, Frozen Gauntlet into a Shen as well is very strange. Shen does a lot of magic damage, so you're stacking armor without health. Oh, but Carl's is really out of place.
Force the flash, but
One
Katili's
dead
already there
Ash.
on the other side. He's actually
Detonator over to Katili. I don't know
he's
about that
gonna
one.
get away there. In the meantime, we do see that
give it
Herald
to Pero.
drop top lane. Uncle Drew will get that auto attack off to stop the charge early, and actually that Herald's... Okay, we'll get the charge off.
Yeah, it's
And-
incredibly hard to
Oh.
actually kill the Herald before it charges if it's full health.
Almost would have actually, if he had a little bit more pressure, there was time to get that second auto in. But actually,
Oh,
3
but
members of
nice
Various
interrupt.
Prodigies here, a nice interrupt, but actually will be the death of Uncle Drew in this top lane. O'Neal taking that blast pump, but will be the blast pump to death. Preston there. Let's throw a route to help him get away. O'Neal opting to stay.
Nice
Actually
knock
going for
up
that
into
flag, going for the
Cataclysm.
double knock up into Cataclysm.
Preston
Alvaro-
can't get in!
They're going to be
They
on
both
the other
jump out.
side, but Katili will get caught by Nika Ultimate. Traded
Interesting
2-for-0
switcheroos.
overall. A very risky 2-for-0 at that.
Yeah, you can see Preston couldn't really get into the Jarvan ultimate, ended up trying to flash inside it, didn't manage to do it, kind of got stuck in the wall. Meanwhile, both Pero and Katili flashed and jumped out of it, meaning that they weren't hit, so the Nico ultimate sort of just popped without doing much.
Yep, it did
And
get
a
a little
flash
bit damage
used.
out, but yeah, it didn't finish off Pero, it would only hit Katili. Interestingly, the gold lead is actually about the same as it was a few minutes ago. After all of these skirmishes, it's just stayed the same. So, Dragon number 2. Will be a Cloud Soul, so we're not going to see today's third Cloud Soul, thank God.
Oh,
Kind of shame. And it's actually going to be started by O'Neal here. Clearly is on the other side, does have the Blast Cone available. Finding from Jeopardy.
Katili's
will do
2
a
levels
lot of
down,
damage.
I don't really expect.
Hexash is charging. Gets over the wall, doesn't get the steal, and is now left to die in the pit. Actually, we'll be doing a lot of damage to Westeros. Actually, just pick up the kill. And Carl's there, just trying to whittle him down.
So down.
And nice
Yeah,
little
you know he
impressive
doesn't have flash because he
1-for-1.
decided to flash over. That was
Yeah,
a blast
he
cone
actually hex
there.
flashed over the wall. And so, yeah, there was no flash that could happen.
In theory, I'm not sure how long hex flash takes to go off, but in theory, maybe you could blast cone over the wall and manage to get the hex flash out. Because you only need
hex
to
flash
get
gets
half.
interrupted by combat.
You only need to get half the distance backwards over the wall. So it's possible you get that off before they hit you. Unlikely,
But worth a try.
but yeah, worth using the blast cone rather than just sort of randomly hex flashing.
Yeah, I should see George going for an engage on Uncle Drew hit. A lot of damage coming out, but he doesn't actually have much health in this tower. George could probably just take that and then play aggressive,
There
running
we-
down onto Uncle Drew. But he's far
What you
enough
see
away.
there is armor being built against a Shen. Provides you almost no tank stats against a Shen. Interesting.
Yeah, unfortunate build. I make using that ult to dodge the root from Preston,
Just
but Carl's with
Trying
those
to dodge out the
slows.
way.
Heal is used, but it's not enough. Just from the red buff slows, the slows from Kyle's.
Tries to use the fancy feet, but it doesn't matter, they just auto attack.
We do see Keely getting
Oh, a
caught
nice
by
stun.
the Torn into the flag and drag. We'll be using the Showstopper to get himself away.
That was well played by Katili there to manage to get out of that. Face breaks them both together as they jump into him, and then just showstoppers out and walks to safety.
It does feel... I'm having flashbacks of last game where we saw that Valkyrie 5 just had this lead and Generation of Prodigies were just slowly falling down. And they're 4k behind right now.
Yes.
It's happening again.
I'd say at this point, just put your Xayah in the mid lane. Why not put Akali on the side lane at this point? Put her into the Shen, in fact. Shen has only built armor.
Yeah, we are 50 minutes and we haven't seen any lane swaps come out, even though we've seen towers drop as well. Tilly going to be spotted out by those minions there. But actually, O'Neal and Preston are in this jungle. Tilly
Ooh, Pero has
possibly on his
flank.
own. Preston using that blast cone
Nice
to get
phase
over.
breaker.
But actually, we do see the Enchant Crystal
Kyle's
going to
1v1ing
iMake,
iMake
but
on the
it's not gonna
bottom.
be okay. Ultimate coming from Preston will land a kill on Tilly, and El Perro is yet to use that shroud to get away
Pero's over
safe.
the wall.
Yeah, the taunt will not catch out
Ooh.
El Perro.
Jeopardy channels the full.
O'Neal actually
Oh.
getting rooted under the tower by iMake. A nice root. Won't finish him off. But actually, this kill in the top lane is not done. Preston will... George and
They
Preston
donate it.
just sort of get a nice curve round. Block off both options for exits for El Perro.
I don't want to give up any gold here at all. TP back to the top lane. Yeah.
Valkyrie getting as much gold as they can. They don't want to give Generation Prodigies a chance to come back here, as they're now full 5,000 gold behind. Ugh, both of us yawning at the same time there. Yes. So we did get out soul. We're on a mountain soul this map. We didn't touch
put
that too
Akali on the
much
side lane. Why is Akali still mid?
because the lane swaps
like-
are not happening.
She's like the safest champion to be on the side lane for your entire team. She's gonna be the one who's best at laning into Shen at this point, honestly.
Yeah, with those stashes as well. Doesn't have the TP like Uncle Drew does, so that's could be the reason for the match. We do see O'Neal going for this Herald in the meantime. Katili not going to spot him actually. Katili opting instead to go for this loop behind on George on that Shen. It's taking a lot of damage.
But that is one tanky
He
boy.
left just a dash over the
Oh.
wall. Actually flash into the face breakup from Katili. But
There's a
Elpero
fight
is
in
there.
bot lane. Nice flash from iMake.
There to finish him off. iMake will be picking up that kill on Carls, and now binding from Jeopardy. iMake actually taking a lot of damage from both White So Serious and the minions, but that last, I think it was a crit there, finished off the fight. Now George left in this 3-1, he's still alive. El Perro, Katili, and Ogudru are struggling to finish him off.
They donate it over to Pero. Good, you're donating it to the person who you want to give it to most. Good job. Oh no. Here comes
Preston
Nico.
coming in.
Da-da, da-da,
iMake's recall
da-da,
still
da-da.
going, has to cancel it. That Q just
And
leaped.
pop! Pop
And I
goes
was
the
about
bird.
to say about how Generations of Prodigies actually, you know, brought down that goal difference from 5k to 3k.
Every
And
time you
I'd
wanna,
hope for them, and then
every time you wanna praise them, something happens.
it does feel a little bit like that. I have hope
O'Neill
for them.
is still topside when this dragon spawned. Will the force come down? Uncle Drew can TP. You know O'Neill's topside.
I'm actually trying to get as much pressure onto O'Neill as possible, forcing that flag and drag away. This actually could be just a free dragon for Generations of Prodigies.
They're gonna struggle to contest it though, with how arguably weak they currently are. They need the Akali there.
Yep, Alpera is
And they
in the
don't
area.
really have a front line. If Uncle Drew TP'd in, then they could contest it effectively.
Opting for that recall. Does have 1100 gold to spend, so it could be a full finished item. Just hovering over, looking at his build. That 1100 gold.
I want to point out,
Close to items, not finishing it.
Generation of Prodigies, not properties. That would be very strange. Oh, but we've seen engage in the bot lane flash forward by Jeopardy to guarantee the route.
Flash,
Shenol
from Jeopardy. And that will be Ivy.
doesn't live long enough.
Didn't get the kill on Carls. But in the meantime, we do see small engage in his topside jungle, and that will be
Pero.
Wise and Serious getting popped up. Pero.
Akali
He's
doing
not that
Akali
good.
things.
O'Neill is now caught in the middle of Generation Prodigies, popping
Ooh,
that
Preston.
Phantasm into the Hourglass, and a nice ult from Preston will secure the kill onto Jeopardy. But O'Neill's left to run away as El Perro is actually left almost untouched.
And George, meanwhile, is pushing the top lane.
Yep, George just had that free time in top just to push it up.
And,
Unfortunately,
oh dear.
the Herald actually
yeah,
gonna be
they-
summoned in mid lane. They're trading the dragon, but they're losing possibly 2 towers for this.
2 towers, maybe even 3 if they're not going to get there in time to stop the inhib tower going down.
Yeah, so that's first charge of Herald. Just come out and see this top tower as well.
That's-
Top tower's about half
That
health.
is,
That's in him
There
tower
we
going to
go.
drop too. And Preston and O'Neill
I
are actually
assume-
still there. Jeopardy and Keely and El Perro are there ready.
even
Lightning
got the
does not
charge on the
connect.
inhib because they tunneled. They didn't just kill the herald.
General Prodigies can hope that their inhibitor regens enough. This feels a little bit rough, and I had hope for Generation of Prodigies, and it's whittling away. I'm not gonna lie. When
The good news is mountain drakes. If you can stack a lot of mountain drakes, oh boy, that is good.
yeah, if they can get this full Mountain Soul, they've definitely got a chance against Valkyrie 5 here. But it's not looking likely. The only dragon they got here, they lost 2 towers, an inhibitor, and well, half of top tower as well. It's looking rough, and I don't really see them getting the rest of these dragons for the soul they need, unless Valkyrie 5 start making some real big mistakes here.
Ash is just sort of gets to push the side lane for some reason.
Yep, free to push that side wave. Actually, still stuck here. Jeopardy
Don't know
probably
why
get
she
that
was
binding.
there.
Force the flash over the wall away.
That was extremely strange that Ash stuck around. I mean, she was greeding, even going for that tower.
Yeah, I mean, she got it in the end. Did have to blow the flash for it, but I think
Nice
at this
route
point,
from
Carl's just
Jeopardy.
getting any gold that he can get. Looking at just a gold overall, though, huge deficit in top lane, about 2.2k gold. Almost, what, 2,500 gold difference in jungle. Again, ahead of Valkyrie 5. 2,000 gold
2K.
ahead in mid as well.
But they are
Yeah.
800 ahead in the bot lane for Generation of Prodigies.
Yep, they have the bot lane lead. But the rest of the map's not looking too hot right now.
But no, we do have a full support Morgana being built. So I would hope she's put few more points into her E for that extra cooldown and
See,
extra
George
power.
forced the flash away here, but Keely can get that facebreaker. We'll catch him out, and that's all 5 members of Generation of Prodigies, but they will be getting that pick onto George. Not really much he can do to escape that. But in the
But
flip
just look at the
side,
mid lane.
Valkyrie 5 are just pushing down this inhibitor. All 5 members of Generation's Prodigies invested to kill a single member of Valkyrie 5.
They're going for it. No one else is actually banked in time.
Nexus Tower's starting to fall. Doesn't actually look like this one's going to fall as they back away here. respecting the
Yep.
Prodigy spawning. City going flash into the 3-1 face breaker, pressing a nice ultimate, will get a nice bit of damage onto El Perro, but into the ultimate,
Oh,
Uncle Drew
the
doing
Akali
a
ult.
huge amount of damage. And El Perro just left to clean up the rest of Valkyrie 5, picking up that triple kill. O'Neal just got a few hundred health. but nice flash
That's
stun
an
from
interesting
Uncle Drew.
teleport.
And teleport from George teleports to his own death. Will pick up the kill on the shutdown onto El Perro, but that's an ace
Give
of the
them another
generation of
kill, why
Prodigies.
not? Let's take Baron.
For God's sake, Akali just picked up 2,500 gold there off that fight.
They're stopping to clear a wood. That could cost them Baron.
Yep, the bot lane of Valkyrie have just spawned 2 seconds on Preston, 15 on O'Neal, and 20 seconds on George. No teleport though available.
Realistically, O'Neal's going to be down. You should be able to get this easily. There's no knock-ups that can't deny you smiting.
And we do see bot lane of Valkyrie approaching. 5,000 health left on this Baron, but a binding actually landing onto Carl's. They decide not to follow this up. He's looking really low here,
Katili actually getting knocked up.
And ult from Preston,
In a bad
forcing
spot,
him out of the pit.
gets
Preston will
knocked
finish
out.
off Katili.
They
And that's Baron going over.
Imake manages to
Generation
pick it up.
Prodigy. Jebediah flashing away for his life. Imake will be trying to trade his life on form, but not quite finishing off. Why so serious there? They get
Imake
the
saving the
Baron.
day there.
But at what cost? Got super minions in their base. Not quite colliding with the towers, luckily for them. El Perro left to clean up a little bit.
They might end the game here.
Yeah, this could be game for Valkyrie 5 here. That's first next tower dropping.
El Perro does not have the best wave clear.
El Perro ulting
Going
will
in,
finish
takes
off
out
Wise
Wise
is
Serious.
Fair.
But they're just going for the tower.
Yeah,
they're just,
second
they're
tower
just
falling.
trying to get
Jebediah
in. Preston
trying to ult in
flashes
the middle
out.
of them, and Preston flashing away from it. Facebreaker
The
will
focusing
pick up
Nico
Preston,
first.
but Jebediah will be next to fall. Preston dropping to the Haymaker. O'Neal on the other side of this Nexus, trying to knock it down, but the rest of the Generation Prodigies are alive, and he can't finish the Nexus.
Not quite, not quite. The game's still happening. No wards. No, there is a ward down. There is
Yeah,
one ward left.
One ward, one lowly ward right next to the Nexus here. George doesn't have TP.
Can we see when TP's coming back? No.
And interestingly, there's only 1,000 gold in between the teams here. Granted, there is a lot of towers, shall we say, in objective control. Generation Prodigies have only knocked down one tower so far. And
So-
have an open Nexus themselves.
If they... I'm not even sure how
Right,
they're
it's
really
started.
going to win
Katili
this
and
now.
Imake are going for this. Carl's and Wild Sirius are on the edge trying to zone them away.
I mean, every
But the
little
fast over the
thing
wall,
they can
Jebediah
get
and
right
Valkyrie
now
are
is
here,
big.
and Dragon is actually been left over.
My god, that
to the
was...
Prodigies, but Wild Sirius just pulled in.
That was close. The miss smite left it on 30 health. It was on 30
I saw,
health.
yeah. 30, damn, it got even
I
lower.
saw it go down to 30 at one point. It
And Katili just
Yeah.
escorting Imake away there. George looking for this, looking for this
slows.
door here. A nice dodge of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Imake into the root. Should be getting out alive. George is taking a decent amount of damage there.
Tilly
He's actually looking for the space breaker.
pulls
Does catch out
Kyle's in.
Carl's. And El Perro going for
Perro.
ultimate does use that E to get away from
They're
Preston's
low.
ultimate there. And
Here goes
second
Akali.
ultimate charge will pick up both Preston and then charging over to finish off Carl's as well. George looking pretty low. This is definitely finishable for El Perro, but the Cataclysm
He doesn't
will
also.
finish him off. George now
Perro
left on his
just
own. in the
stands there and
1v3.
lets himself
Face
die.
breaker brings in George. Is this winnable? Is this the
This is
throw we wanted
winnable.
from Valkyrie? We wanted, we were
The throw-
needed
what do you-
from
what do you mean
Valkyrie
wanted?
5.
Oh,
This is the throw that Generation of Prodigies wanted from Valkyrie 5.
it could be. Just remember, Shen's TP is going to be coming back up soon.
But that ward is gone.
The ward is
The
gone.
ward is gone. We don't have the inhibitor timer. I can quickly pan over to it and look. We don't have that. That's annoying. So in Spectator, apparently you don't get the little dial around the inhibitor to show you how long is left on that respawn. But it's up. We just heard the audio, so that'll be about 15 to 20 seconds, and that inhib is back up.
And that's a
Generation
lot
Prodigies.
That's big. The inhib being back up means that they can't really backdoor you as easily. You'll have a little bit of time to respond to it, unless somehow their entire team manages to make it past you, in which case you should probably lose at that point.
Yeah, I mean, It feels like Valkyrie 5 have just started to not be able to deal with El Para's Akali.
We do see Banshee Sonya's being picked up on the Akali, a much more sort of defensive build, realizing I'm keeping us in this game right now. If I die, that'll be the game over.
Huge amount of damage coming out from Katili. Baron spawning in a minute 55. 2 minutes 45 left on the next dragon. We're in sort of a bit of a stalemate
Bit of a
of
lull.
this game. Where,
Lull state.
yeah, lull state's probably a better way to say it. Where neither team are going to be looking for fights, because if the Generation Prodigies look for a fight and they don't win, it's game over. But on the flip side, if Valkyrie 5 lose this fight, honestly, with the amount that Generation of Prodigies is snowballing right now, this could be game-threatening for them to pick fights that they do not win. But see, they're actually going for this, looking for the engage. Black Shield will keep him safe there.
The problem Generation of Prodigies is having right now is, yeah, they need to get a bit more map pressure. They need to somehow get these towers down. They're just giving a lot of ground, playing quite passively, which you can sort of understand. If you lose the fight, you lose the game. But you'll just let them bleed you out if you just kind of sit around waiting for objectives to spawn at this point.
Yeah, they're grouping up in this bottom lane, looking for that last remaining inner tower.
They're pinging Baron.
Baron's actually not going to be spawning for the next 35 seconds.
Generation
The time to
Generation
prep is now.
Yeah, Generation of Prodigies are realize that's coming up soon.
The binding actually
A nice
landing on the
blind
Preston there.
bind.
It's going to be perfectly fine to get away.
Uncle Drew
Uncle
just
Drew getting caught by multiple routes, but actually ulting
the
in.
ultimate.
And that'll be Westeros getting caught by the Morgana binding.
one down.
Will we finish off? Preston now getting caught
Preston in
inside
trouble.
Jeopardy's ult. His own ult will not be enough to save him. El Perry left
Stop
on the
pushing
side,
Morgana.
Cataclysm landing onto iMake.
Nice flex back
route
with some
actually coming
iMake.
out onto O'Neal, left on the side there. In the meanwhile, Teely just zoning out Carls from this fight, and will be finishing him off. Facebreaker doesn't land.
Nope.
Heal will get away. Is this winnable for the Generation of Prodigies?
Ugh. You start to believe in the underdog story, but at some point, one slip up from them, one slip up, and that's the game.
Have to play this perfectly, yes. They're rotating for this
Wow.
Baron. It's going to be started by Jeopardy there, taking those honey fruits just to keep a little bit healthier. O'Neal is on the side, he is ready.
He is a level up.
Level up on Katili. Vision, yep, he's got
Of course.
vision inside the pit. But actually,
Zaya-
Generation Prodigies don't have vision on O'Neal.
Zaya E feathers.
Does make for almost a second smite. Actually, El Perro gonna pick off Why So Serious in the
Oh.
backside, but the blue Katili
And he
will be
waits
securing
too
that
long.
Baron. And now it's O'Neal stuck inside the pit. Will be finished off by El Perro. That's 2 kills going over to El Perro. Akali snowballing even harder as the next dragon is pinged. This could be the 3rd mountain for the Generation of Prodigies. This is not the time for my words to stop working.
Something to note is Volley has hit level 16. His ult will hit like a truck now. If he can actually manage to catch someone in it, potentially he could one-shot one of the squishier members.
Kaz is just going for the poke on Uncle Drew, but the amount of damage he's doing is negligible. Uncle Drew is a huge, almost raid boss level at this point. And that's Dragon uncontested, number 3 for the Generation of Prodigies. Recalls coming out. They've got those enhanced Baron recalls, so they are able to get back to their base much quicker to defend against any push that Valkyrie
I do
5 want to
wonder,
do.
At what point are they going to start going for this win? At what point are they going to start pushing these towers down? You've got the Baron now, but you're all recalling at different times. You're not really syncing up to push these waves.
Yeah, so
At
that is
some
the
point-
issue. They are winning the fights, they're getting the objectives, but they've taken 1 tower this game. Granted, mid and bot towers are both very low, but it's still the outer towers. It's 32 minutes in and it's still got outer towers.
Because of iMake and Perro's packs there, you've wasted a lot of that Baron timer.
And obviously Carl's
How
having
long
a
has it got
decent amount
left?
of wave clear onto these Baron minions.
I can't see.
Was able to slow down the push a little bit. But this is most likely going to be mid tier 1, finally falling 33 minutes into the game.
I'd expect them to be able to get tier 2, but
It's looking like
looks
they're gonna
like they
back
are.
off. Kings on to defend the inhibitor.
They're happy for the
Interesting.
one tower. Oh, we're gonna have a long game.
Hey, we are happy for one tower. We love an underdog story. I think this will be the first one we've had. We've had a lot of very one-sided games. Actually, recall coming out from Carls. This could be the potential that, or the time that Generous Prodigies need to push in this tower. I feel like they've seen his recall though. They're a little bit scared to step up to this tower. And that root on Jeopardy doing a decent amount of damage, almost half healthy him, having to put that black shield onto himself just to make sure he is okay.
They just decide, you know what, Jeopardy's quite. We'll back off. Let's not risk it.
Yeah, not getting a whole lot out of that Baron, but I think denying the Baron from Valkyrie 5 is the bigger play there. Next Dragon's 3 minutes, next Baron is 3.5 minutes. We are back in the lull state.
Of course, you do have the many dragons starting to stack up.
Yes.
Woolly Bear has
mountains?
280 armor, 154 magic resist. Even Kaiser at the moment is sitting on 88 armor and
'Cause it's
79
8%,
magic
isn't it?
resist.
Is it 6 or 8%?
4% per Drake.
4%. Oh. That's either been nerfed or I'm dumb. Yeah, so that's still 12%.
Yeah, they did.
extra
Dragons are still
resistances.
insane.
For Generation of Prodigies. And looking, Preston does have that Void Staff. Does have, it has as much magic pen as possible. Actually, Preston doesn't really have much AP to back up that magic pen. Really is going to be needing to pick up the death cap for that last item. Doozy Cars has picked up, I think that's Lord Dominic's. AD carry items are not my forte.
Yes.
Yep, Lord Dominic's. So Wood does have the armor pen.
Very much needed, especially when they get so many armor drakes.
Armor
Yeah,
Drakes.
sure, why not
That's a
armor
new name,
drakes?
Armor Drakes.
I mean, in this game, it's definitely an armor drake. It's
It really
providing a
is.
lot of extra power.
Especially considering, you know, Preston does kind of like a bit of AP right now, does like that damage as well. We do see George split pushing this bottom lane. He's going to start whittling down that tower.
Like,
not a whole lot of response actually for Generation of Prodigies.
it's how strong the drakes are. Even Morgana has 150 armor right now.
She does have the hourglass, so that is a good chunk as well. Yeah, pushing that up to 150.
Yeah, but all of that gets amplified.
That is the tower falling for Generation of Prodigies. Valkyrie just picking up whatever objectives they can in the side.
I mean, doesn't get them too much really. They're just looking to win a fight.
Yeah,
To win the
I
game
think
at this point, they're struggling in the team fights a lot.
towers for Generation of Prodigies are huge. Towers Valkyrie 5, at this point, it's not a whole big deal. Unless they're opening up a second inhib. You know, it's fairly mute them picking up towers. Now, do you think this is actually winnable for Generation of Prodigies, considering how long we're sitting in this lull state?
It's winnable for them, definitely. Again, they just have to make sure none of their key players get caught out here. Not get too ahead of themselves. We do have both Baron and Dragons spawning around the same time, so it'll be interesting to see which one.
Yeah,
teams
25
go
on
for.
Dragon, 40 on that Baron. Honestly, I think TJP definitely prioritized that Dragon. That gives them 4 Mountain Soul. Makes
Valkyrie
all
5
of them
are
raid bosses.
prioritizing the Dragon as well. It looks like we might have our game-deciding team fight around this Dragon.
Does look like it indeed. Carl's revealing himself in that bush there.
Ooh, look at the level difference. Carl's is level 14 to IMAX 16.
Yeah, I was picking up a lot of solo XP in these side lanes, especially because when the inhib came in. Had some free waves there, but actually,
Drake started.
Final Dragon has started. I'm going to do. Actually,
It's falling
a lot of
very
damage, it's
quickly.
already half health.
There goes
And
O'Neal.
Alparo
He's
is
gone in.
there, ready to.
He gets
defend
it.
away, but O'Neal does defend that Baron, that Dragon.
Gets the
Preston going for
steal.
ultimate, but it's hourglassed away by Alparo. And now Preston stuck in
It's
the
an
middle
hourglass
of
used.
Generation of Prodigies. A nice flash from iMake getting him away there. And there's huge amounts of damage, and no one can get close to iMake because George tries it. Actually does land that taunt, but actually will finish him off with that Q damage.
Finishes him off, but Pero is still alive here.
This is going to
And
be
here
a
we
7-dragon game. Actually,
Not
George
often
isn't
you see
quite
those.
out yet.
He's just being an annoying Shen running around the map.
So, 3 dragons aside. Baron is our next objective. Looking at cooldowns, so we've got the ultimate from Preston. Enchant Crystal Arrows up. of course, Mantra is up and available. In contrast, the only ultimate up from the side generation Prodigies is the Akali ultimate.
Of course, the Shackles of Pain will be up very quickly for the Morgana, which is a very big zoning tool.
As well as Uncle Drew's ultimate there as well. I need
The
to start
main
learning some ultimate names.
The main things you're worried about is QSS is down on your Kai'Sa, her ultimate's down, her heal, her flash is down. That Kai'Sa is not so safe anymore. She's been pretty much kiting for herself the entire time. She can't really do that when everything's down.
Yeah, in that last fight she was... I had a very nice flash to get her away from the O'Neal and that Jarvan. But yeah, once George got on top of her, it was game over. Honestly, I was quite impressed with El Paro last fight in the sense that 3 members of Valkyrie 5 were there to hold and try and finish off El Paro. And he finished the fight alive and healthy. Yeah, we do see
That's
this.
the power of the defensive items with a Armor Drake, as we're calling them now.
Armor Drake, yes. Actually, Uncle Drew going for this tower dive. A nice flash base breaker from Gatili.
They disabled the tower. Preston's in the back line.
Into the Nika ultimate. Imake is stuck, but it's just alive. That kind's keeping him alive.
Ultimate comes back up just in time.
The flag not going to finish him. The rune coming out. Actually rooting O'Neal. Imake getting away.
Imake's alive.
A tiny amount of health. Meanwhile, El Paro looking
Pero's
for that pick
also still alive.
Tiles.
Imake's gonna come
I'm
back to
surprised
this,
Gatili
healing
lived
up
through
with the
that
red
one.
buff. And
Next
they
tower
might
falling.
end the game here. If Kyle's
for that inhib
oversteps
tower.
even a little bit, the game's
Yeah.
over.
All 5 members of Generation Prodigies alive. Only 2 alive from Valkyrie 5. First in
George's
tower falling.
only job right now is keeping Kyle's alive.
That's the inhib
They're
down.
choosing to back
They're looking
off,
like they're gonna
go
back
for the
off.
Baron.
Go for the Baron.
They're going for the extremely safe play.
Honestly, they kind of have to go for the safe plays. Because as we said, one mistake from Generation of Prodigies.
Well, one mistake from either team at this point. But it looks like they might be
Actually,
going for the
teleport coming in
back
from George in that
door.
bot lane. It's going for the inhib. So George going for that inhib. Baron.
Baron is... It's a slow Baron.
Uncle Drew TPing.
TP's
to go
being
and match
channeled.
George. That's Baron Nash going over
They've got the
to
Baron.
El Paro actually
Pero's
picking up a
just...
double
There
kill
we go.
there.
And that should be
Wiping
game.
the bot lane of Valkyrie 5. So George still going
And,
for his inhib. Also
nice
coming Uncle Drew, not quite
wet
going to connect,
noodle
but the binding
combat.
from Jeopardy. Is this game? Is
This should be game.
game? Preston actually looking for El
With
Paro
Carl's
here.
and Weiss serious down, or if Preston dies
Ward
here.
does land. Put the E over the wall. It's looking like he's just stalling Preston for as long as he can. Yeah, Drew's back with the rest of his team. Generation of Prodigies.
Look like they might actually pick up this game.
The 41 minute. I thought it was over by 20. But I've been proved sorely wrong as we're in this 40-minute mark. 40 to 22 kills. I hadn't even noticed the huge amount of kills we've had this game. And first Nexus Tower is falling. Imake gonna get the flying drag, but the Cataclysm going on to El Paro, but he's left to just dash away. Using that second dash into the Hourglass.
Meanwhile, they're just
Tower's
focusing
falling.
the towers down.
Second Nexus Tower falling, Preston ultimate into the Hourglass. Does catch most of Generation of Prodigies, but in the meantime,
Imake's
Jeopardy
pretty
does
low.
die. And the Nexus
They
falling.
get the game.
Generation of Prodigies with the huge comeback.
Get the comeback.
Makes it
I can't believe they
1-1
won that.
in this 2-game split. Oh my god.
What surprises me is at no point was there a concerted backdoor effort from Valkyrie 5. Despite them continually losing the team fights, at no point did they think, let's go for this backdoor. Let's just have Ashe walk up. We'll try and bait them into a fight somewhere else. Ashe will flash the wall, and Shen will ult to her, and we'll just try and get the backdoor.
Yeah, no, it was... Valkyrie 5... It was such a convincing early game. And honestly, when they taken them both next to house, I thought it was over. And as you said, there was no effort to backdoor or to try and force this win. It almost felt like they were terrified of Generation of Prodigies, even when they had the lead. On the flip side, Generation of Prodigies.
They hung in there. They hung in there well. They managed to get themselves the win. Overall, a 1-for-1. Not often we see those.
No, really not often at all. Honestly, I want to say huge props to the whole team of Generation of Prodigies.
Whole team.
El Paro, especially for getting them back into this game when we thought all was over. I mean, and we had iMake having some just amazing team up positioning, kiting himself away.
Managing to keep himself alive in the team fights with really not much peel at all. Mostly his own peel. But I think overall, I don't think there's going to be much complaint that Pero should probably have the MVP there. Pero did keep them alive long enough.
What kept them in this game for long enough for, you know, Drew and for iMake to just become these monstrous picks that they were.
Yep.
I feel bad for asking for MVP on Valkyrie 5.
I'm not 100% sure on this one. I'd be tempted to give it to either George or Preston. The problem I'm having with Preston is something I noticed that was happening was every single time Preston ulted, it would immediately stopwatch afterwards. Didn't matter if anything was even coming to him, and a couple of times it just got him killed when there was nothing coming to him at all, and the enemy team went, wait a second, this Nico's just randomly stopwatch. Let's just wait for her to come out of it and then use her abilities.
Yeah, there were some stopwatches where, you know, Preston's put himself in the middle of the team and thought, okay, they're going to focus me. I'm going to hourglass. And then it was actually, Preston, you're fine.
Preston, you're fine. They're not... None of them are gone for you. They've tried to run away from your ultimate, and yeah, there was... I think overall George played it quite well, was managing to get taunts where needed. Tried the weird backdoor play at the end, but honestly, they should have tried the backdoor so much earlier, and they should have had... He shouldn't have been the one to have to do it. He should have been the one following up on it with the ultimate or the TP. Like, it was just quite unfortunate for him. Yes. I think I'd give it to George, edging it out.
I think I agree with you. I think, yeah, George had a lot of impact in that game. Get some nice taunts in there. Had a decently strong lane phase as well. And of course that backdoor attempt that it just didn't quite work. Wow. My voice hurts.
We didn't see the 7th Drake either.
Oh, we didn't see the 7th Drake. Yeah, that is a point. We did.
We never made it there.
I wonder who would have got some.
Oh well. One day.
But yes. Thank you to both Generation Prodigies and Valkyrie 5 for playing. Thank you to Generation Prodigies, Uncle Drew especially, for sending us these replays so that we can cast that incredibly close game too.
Yes. What a nail biter. Well, not even really a nail biter. It's just watching it slowly go so wrong for Valkyrie 5. Oh, yeah.
It did very slowly. Just it felt like so in the early game. It felt like it was just slowly crumbling for Generation Prodigies, and it just sort of turned itself around, and then it was Valkyrie 5 who were just slowly crumbling away. Also, thank you for all the follows, guys. But yeah, this is the first week of the split. Huge games coming out. Thank you to all the teams tonight for playing.
Yep.
Thank you, Gavin, and MrOuldy's not here now, but did cast with us for our first match of the day.
Thanks to him. I have no idea if he has his own channel or anything, but
no idea.
But no idea. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
But you know who does have their own channel?
I do have my own channel.
Gavin.
I was not. Definitely wasn't purposely leading up to that or anything.
So yeah, go check Gavin out on stream. He does stream sometimes. Actually does VOD reviews as well. Not
stream for a while, but yeah, we'll pick that up.
And then for Jipoy and chat. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for the games.
Yep.
We will see you guys
next week.
Yeah, there's definitely games next Sunday. We possibly might have games as well in the week, whether teams contact us for scrims or whether we pick up some teams in the week for games there.
I think we're resigned to not showing our own games until we've got our shit show in check, but
yeah, let's not stream our games.
Yeah. We'll wait until we.
Maybe one day you'll be able to see our games played. We play them on Saturday.
Well, I mean, if we can get our original team back at some point, that would be nice. I feel like it felt like we were unstoppable then.
And then to finish us off, one for Little Cheese in the chat. Thank you everyone for coming. We will see you all next Sunday, if not before, if any other teams contact us. Goodbye. I hate myself. Why do I keep doing goodbye?
See ya.
Bye guys.
I'm not doing it.